From Alabama to Wayland and everything in between. 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
Buying a car at Feller Chevrolet has never been a hassle, but during our no-hassle sale, it's even easier. All new and used vehicles are priced and marked with rock-bottom prices on the lot and on the web. To make car shopping as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Come to Feller Chevrolet in Altavista or go to fellersdirect.com. 2. Pick the vehicle that fits your budget. 3. Drive it home today. No pressure, no hassle.
A short drive will save you money. Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
Live from Gretna High School, it's time once again for Colonel Basketball. The Altavista Colonels live on 105.5 KD Country. I'm Kyle Hoehne with my esteemed colleague, Agent Zero, the Big O, the voice of the Altavista Colonels, Oscar Briggs. Man of many nicknames, too. How many is that, 4 total?
3 or 4. You know, you say voice of the Colonels, but I've taken a little bit of a hiatus, so it's good to be back in the booth with you. And Colonels come in at 12-3 against this Gretna team, and the last time they played, Altavista, really manhandled Gretna 62-32, and it was a little bit closer in the first half. Altavista stretched it out in the second, so here we are at Gretna. It'll be interesting to see how Gretna responds.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting. Gretna's playing a lot better as of late. Coach Cardallero is going to talk about that in the Subway pregame show interview. This is the Subway pregame show. Eat Fresh, 2 great locations in Altavista, on Main Street and also in the Walmart on the Clarion Road. And I'll tell you, Oscar, got new stuff for February at Subway. I'll tell you what else is going on in February is Valentine's Day. What sweetheart wouldn't love a Subway gift card? I mean, that's better than flowers right there.
I don't know if that would work or not, but it's a nice thought. But, again, I don't know if that would work or not. But, you know, we talk about Robert Duff and what he's able to accomplish. And coming off of January, people have had an opportunity to go in and try a bunch of different subs. And, you know, there's some specials running in February. Like you said, Valentine's Day. The cookies, you can't go wrong with those, though.
Absolutely. It's a lot of fun stuff going on. A lot of fun on the hardwoods here tonight from Gretna. Let's hear about it from the head coach himself. Mike Cardallero on the way after this timeout. Subway pregame show returns in just a second on 105.5 KD Country.
Man, it's cold in here. What's wrong with your heater?
Well, it used to work pretty good.
Back in the 90s, just call Select Air and get it fixed.
Oh, it'll probably cost a lot of money.
No, it won't, because Donnie will give you a fair price and get it done right the first time.
Maybe I'll call Select Air tomorrow.
No, you will call Select Air today, because it's freezing in here.
Select Air, 841-1580. 841-1580. Online at selectair.webs.com.
If you're like me, life changes, and that brings up financial questions. I'm Vivian Brown of First National Bank, and we're excited to offer a new financial answer center that will help you better understand your own needs. It covers various financial topics, offers free quick guide, and if needed, access to a First National Bank employee. So go to our website at 1stnatbk.com and take a look at the new financial answer center. It's a smart resource that could help you bring home more bacon. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The following is brought to you by English Construction Company.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show returns here on 105.5 KD Country, talking to head coach Mike Cardallero, and literally courtside here at Gretna High School. I'll reveal a secret to fans out there. A lot of times we record those interviews in advance, Coach, but tonight we are here right before the game, and it is Gretna, another big one. You guys are coming off a win against Rustburg, but it's always different when you come down here to Gretna. Things can get wild and crazy really quick.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, on the home floor, they're comfortable here playing, and over the years, we've had to battle really hard to to try to come out here with a W. And, with where we are right now and our health and a few other factors, we know it's going to be in a real battle tonight trying to get a win.
Yeah, it's a Gretna team that I know doesn't have the wins and losses, but, we remember from last year you guys played them 4 times, and 4 really good ball games. It seemed like in each game you guys pulled away in the second half there. Do you expect that kind of thing again tonight, or is this a brand-new ball club? I know you got to beat them once already this year. Feel like it's going to be a hard-fought game? I'm sure you do.
Oh, absolutely. Now, with their record, what's very deceiving is they've won 6 out of their last 9 games. And they've gotten Gilbert back and Oates back, who did not play early. And they got a nice little rotation. Got about 8 or 9 deep. So, no, I think we're going to be in a dogfight. I just hope we can come out of here with a 1-point win.
Well, you mentioned the health of your team. Everybody knows about Juan Thornhill, but we don't know when he's coming back. I'm assuming maybe you still don't know when he's coming back either, right?
No, we don't know. He's made progress. It's still not where it could be, I guess, to get out there and play. So, we're just going to have to play without him, and we really don't know at what point we're going to have him playing.
The win against Rustburg seemed like you guys, obviously you didn't beat them by 38 or 40 like you did the first time, and maybe a little sluggish. Do you just attribute that to the early start time and the game, coming off the game against Dan River, just a little bit of jet lag there?
Yeah, part of it was fatigue, obviously, but not all of it. And, we got up 28-12 in the first half, and we didn't have that killer instinct of obviously to give them a knockout blow. And I think we've had that happen to us a few times this year where we extend the lead. We have really good possessions. We look pretty good, and then all of a sudden we kind of get into a funk a little bit, and, we have bad possessions and let people score. So that's got to get better for us. You can give Westport credit, too. They came in and played a lot better game than they did the first time the week before. It's strange, and every game's different. Every game you start at 0-0. You're not up 20. You have to earn everything you get, and, we're going at teams that are trying to give us the best shot.
Yeah, no 2 games are ever the same, that's for sure. We have been talking about the 04 state championship team some, and that's a big reunion is Friday at home against Chatham senior night. And I know you want to send the appeal out there again to all the Colonel fans to try and get out there in person if they can and really enjoy what's going to be a fun night.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be a fun night. It's senior night. Little League teams are going to be recognized from the Little League in town. And special night, we're going to honor the 04 team. That was 10 years ago that we won it. And I think right now we've got 11 of the 13 players, got most of the coaching staff, all the score table personnel, the administrators. It'd just be great to see everybody and share a few laughs. And hard to believe it's been 10 years, but it has been 10 years.
Seems like just yesterday. Yesterday you guys got weathered out against Nelson County, and we'll talk about that real briefly before we get to the shout-outs. Any word on whether you guys are going to have a chance to make that up, or are we just running out of time now at this point?
We're pretty much running out of time. We've got to play Chatham on Friday. We're in the Lloyd Stanley Classic in Salem Saturday. And then we've got games Monday, Wednesday, Friday. William Campbell after match, William Campbell. And then you look at their schedule, which is the same. They've got a lot of games. They're backed up, and then they start their conference play next Friday, which we start at the following Monday. So that really throws a curveball. So as it stands right now, we're probably not going to play the Nelson home game.
Yeah, things wrapping up here. It seems like just yesterday was early in the season. It seems like 04 was yesterday. Shout-outs are right now, though.
All right, shout-outs to my dad, who's under the weather. He's got the flu. I think it's going around a little bit. I hope he feels better. He's listening in Vista. Minnie and Billy, in-laws in Florida, are always listening in Orlando. Ashley actually is home for a couple of days, so she is here at the game. I hope Nick is listening in at JMU. Sarah and Swanson, neighbors who always listen in faithfully to Colonel Hoops, and Micah and his family in Manassas. And I'd like to do a big shout-out to Glenn and Linda Miller, Miller's Jeweler, longest supporters of Altavista Basketball Camp. They're not able to come to the game. We've added them to the list, and they're big fans, and our top supporters for a basketball camp over 20 years.
Absolutely. Got to love Miller's Jewelry, and got to love the shout-outs. Coach, looking forward to a good one here tonight from Gretna. Thanks a lot. Back after this timeout with the tip-off on 105.5 KD Country.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away, with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch and Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
High school athletics builds character, teaches teamwork, and provides a solid foundation for life. PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this sports broadcast for your enjoyment. PCM Industrial Services encourages everyone to come on out and watch the game. It's a great time for the whole family. Cheer on the Colonels. PCM Industrial Services, the industrial maintenance and construction specialists, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality craftsmen since 1986. Good luck, Colonels.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show returns here from Gretna High School. It's the Altavista Colonels taking on the Gretna Hawks, and we're about 10 minutes away from tip-off. I'm Kyle Hoehne with my esteemed colleague, Oscar Briggs. And Mr. Briggs, what's up?
Yeah, and, you know, Coach Carlero always does his shout-outs. Shout out all the way down to Waccamaw. Oral surgery in Surfside Beach. Dr. Lucia and Wes Covington listening, and Cindy Parrish listening. So thanks to those guys for listening tonight, all the way in Surfside. How about that?
I'll tell you, that's the great thing about the internet, about kdcountry.com. You can be traveling the banks of the mighty Waccamaw River, or maybe even the mighty Mississippi River somewhere, and you can hear the Colonels and you can hear us, and it's a fun time. Subway pregame show's fun. Some people don't want that Subway gift card for Valentine's Day, but you could throw that in there. It could be part of the entire package. That's all I'm saying. I'm just going to leave it at that. Another shout-out, too, to Coach Ward's family. Told me to mention his dad and his lovely bride, Gwen, and, of course, Nolan back there hanging out along with Jude. And, Nolan, I'm just wondering if you're listening. Did your dad name you after Nolan Ryan? I mean, I don't know. Is Coach Ward a big Nolan Ryan fan? Or are you a big Nolan Ryan fan?
Absolutely big Nolan Ryan fan.
Well, I'm a big Nolan Ward fan, that's for sure. Nolan Ryan, not too shabby either. I mean, 7 no-hitters. Hey, speaking of no-hitters, let's talk about the Altavista Colonels basketball team. And really, Coach Carlero and I mentioned it. Season drawing to a close here, Oscar, because it's this week and next week of the regular season. 3 games this week, the night here in Gretna, obviously. Friday is the senior night against Chatham, and they're also honoring that 2004 state championship team. You heard about that. Saturday up in Salem for the Roy Stanley Classic. And then 3 ball games next week, so it's still a busy schedule of action for Altavista.
Well, it is, and I had the opportunity to talk to Coach Cardolero before the game, you know, in between the interview, and I asked him, I said, Coach, in your memory, have you ever had such a season where you had so many weather cancellations, such a disruption, you know, getting 3 weeks started, late started from football seasons? And, you know, his response was no, a ton of distractions, the weather, cancellation of games, kids get amped up ready to play, and then they can't play. He said it's been a very difficult season, yet the Colonels have been able to come out with a 12-3 record. Of course, the initial loss to Goochland, and then the 2 tough losses to Dan River.
Yeah, 2 tough losses to Dan River. One of those was Friday night. Bob Alvis and I were down there. Good ball game. Colonels actually had a lead at one point during the third quarter there, but hold on to it. Bobcats bounced back the next day. But it has been an interesting season. Getting back to your point, Mr. Briggs, just in the fact that you get the late start because of football to start off, but I think everybody sort of expected that. Then the weather shows up, you have to move some games, and then you move the games, and then those games get canceled. So it's sort of one of those hurry up and wait situations. You know, we've got a lot of games on the slate. Looks like some of them aren't going to get made up, specifically that Nelson game yesterday. But I think the Colonels are ready going into playoff time. I know you still got a full 6 games before the playoffs start, but I think the Colonels are where they want to be, and certainly when they get Juan Thornhill back and healthy again, they'll really be where they want to be, and then assuming you can keep everybody else healthy as well. On that note, let's step aside for another 90-second timeout here on the Subway pregame show. Colonels, Hawks, getting ready to renew the rivalry here in about 7 minutes. You'll hear it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
This month's specials from your Apple Market convenience stores. Coke 6-pack cans, $1.29 and 24 cans for $6.99. Extra large Lay's chips selling for $3.49. Chicken Parmesan sandwiches and subs special price reduction for January. A Piece's delicious fried chicken now $7.99 from 4 to 8 p.m. only at Apple Market locations Riverside, Gateway, and Main Street, Altavista. You know what they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
A short drive will save you money.
Buying a car at Feller Chevrolet has never been a hassle, but during our no-hassle sale, it's even easier. All new and used vehicles are priced and marked with rock-bottom prices on the lot and on the web. To make car shopping as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Come to Feller Chevrolet in Altavista or go to fellersdirect.com. 2. Pick the vehicle that fits your budget. 3. Drive it home today. No pressure, no hassle.
A short drive will save you money. Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
Some people have never tried food at a Mexican restaurant, so we asked Chad Shelton from Shelton's Plumbing and Heating about his experience.
I wasn't so sure what the green stuff was, but they slipped some on my plate one day, and now I won't have a meal without guacamole. Still can't spell it.
At El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, if you have questions, they give you the answers in English. Mexican and American foods, affordable prices, and fast service. Try it today, El Cazador, Main Street, Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here live from Gretna High School, 51 years of outstanding high school sports coverage on KD Country. Mr. Briggs, and I just got a few more shout-out requests and things we need to take care of. Lee Cameron, by the way, doing a fantastic job back at the studios producing us. But how about our other fantastic producer, Eleanor Hoehne, listening at home with Dottie. Well, I think they're at home. They might be riding around in their car somewhere looking for a milk bone or something to chew on. Yeah, and Dottie is a dog, by the way.
That's right. And you know, we had a little bit of an issue before Lee was able to get to the station and trying to debug the system, and Eleanor helped us through that. Good to go. Thanks, Eleanor, for that as well.
Yeah, always the whole team there at KD Country, top-notch, all the way down the line, from the executive producers, Dave and Elizabeth, all the way down to just the yeomen like us who are just trying to do our part to fit in. That brings up a good point about the Altavista Colonels, though, Oscar. Bench play for them this year. I've spoken with Coach C about it a little bit from time to time, but what's your assessment of the Colonels' bench so far this year?
Well, they've been solid. Walker Allen stepped up and been able to give them some good minutes, and really has become a legitimate threat from three-point land. We've seen Navy Jones, of course. He brings a different dimension with his speed, defense, and surprisingly, he hits the boards extremely well. His timing is great. He can elevate, and he has some knack of getting in as small as he is to be able to get up and get some key rebounds.
Yeah, I don't know if that's Navy being out there as a cornerback reading those high passes when they go up help, but he certainly does have that ability to read the shot as it's coming off the rim like that and get up there and rebound, particularly for his size, like you said. And then you got some younger guys like Nelson Dews and Josh McClure as well that have really stepped in and played some valuable minutes. And those two guys can shoot it a little bit from beyond the arc, too. So the Colonels really do have some distant shooters coming off the bench, it seems like.
Well, in this little stretch that, without Juan Thornhill, really doesn't do anything but help the Colonels. You're going to get a Walker Allen with more minutes. You're going to get Navy with more minutes, Nelson Dews with more minutes. And when Juan does come back, you'll have a little bit of a chemistry issue, but these kids have been playing together for so long that it may not be that big an issue, and if anything, you strengthen your bench depth.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talked about that when Juan first went out against Nelson County. You can look at it as an opportunity to see some other guys and see what they can do, playing some more minutes and playing with a different lineup, different chemistry there. A lineup for us that is always outstanding is our sponsors, and we really could not do it without them. People like PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialists since 1986. Select Air, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It gets tough sometimes here, Oscar.
Sure,
things get wild here at Gretna. Let's just start Select Air over again because Donnie is a fantastic guy. Select Air, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Never an overtime charge when you call Donnie. English is your complete home center. Davis Paint headquarters. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, the happiest place in town. Fellers Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. Online at fellersdirect.com. English Construction Company, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Tyree Little Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and comfortable in between. Apple Market, serving you from 3 Altavista area locations. And the First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. Oh, can't forget about Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Services, a family serving families since 1905. And, of course, you also can't forget about the Walmart in Altavista. They sponsor our streaming online audio. So if you're listening, say, in Rustburg, Virginia, or in Surfside, South Carolina, all points in between, you can thank Walmart for that on the Clarion Road. Save money, live better, Walmart. And we're about a minute and a half now away from tip-off, so National Anthem will be around the corner. But, again, this is the Subway pregame show, so I have one more chance to tell you about Subway. Of course, February, you get the meatball marinara featured on the footlong. I believe the oven-baked chicken is the $3 6-inch select. Oh, the new flat pizzas, Oscar. Robert Duff and I were talking about those. It's a flatbread pizza. You get whatever you want on it. Fantastic flavor. And for those of us who are calorie conscious like you and myself, it's good there, too.
And, you know, when we made the trip to Goochland, we saw a billboard that had a little bit of something a little bit different. Word on the street is that that particular entree is making its way across the country, and we may be seeing it come to Altavista soon.
I love that. You've got to love what Robert Duff is doing down at Subways in Altavista. Got to love what the Colonels have been doing all year. Pretty solid, and they're taking on one of their favorite rival opponents, the Gretna Hawks. You'll hear it all in just a moment on 105.5 KD Country.
English is
so much more.
English is
more than a hardware store.
English is
your complete
anthem here. We're going to need
everything
at least 3, I think.
You do. Always here.
May even need a 4th one. I didn't really time this up very good, so my apologies there.
So much more.
English is
more than a hardware store.
Knocked out.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista, open Saturday 8 to 4. This basketball game is brought to you by the KD Country Sports Club.
Aubrey Rosser Law Firm in Altavista, first choice for any and all legal advice.
Steve Farmer Auto Sales, where there's always a good selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs priced right. Steve Farmer Auto Sales, 1112 Main Street.
Sharky's Pest Control in Hurt. Let Tony take a bite out of your pest control needs. Doing business the old-fashioned way to keep you coming back.
Main Street Trading Company Consignment, now open Wednesday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturdays, 9 to 4.
El Cerrito in Altavista. Throw on a sombrero and shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time.
Man, it's cold in here. What's wrong with your heater?
Well, it used to work pretty good.
Back in the 90s, just call Select Air and get it fixed.
Oh, it'll probably cost a lot of money.
No, it won't, because Donnie will give you a fair price and get it done right the first time.
Maybe I'll call Select Air tomorrow.
No, you will call Select Air today, because it's freezing in here.
Select Air, 841-1580. 841-1580. Online at selectair.webs.com.
Hi, I'm Daniel Wheeler of First National Bank. Let me tell you 3 things you may not know about a home equity loan. First, even if your mortgage is somewhere else, you can still have your home equity loan approved locally here at First National Bank with speed, expertise, and flexibility. Number 2, in addition to personalized local service, our rates are very, very competitive. And number 3, we may be able to help you avoid closing costs. So let's set up your home equity loan today before you need it. See me at First National Bank's Airport Branch on Wards Road, an equal housing lender.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1909, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
National anthem just getting started here from Gretna. So we'll step aside again for another 1-minute timeout. Hawks and Colonels on the way on 105.5 KD Country.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch and Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away, with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical, any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
And now we're back from Gretna High School. Had to give the national anthem a chance to get going there. Didn't really time it up very perfectly on our end, but our producer, Lee Cameron, back at home base, always ready for anything we throw at his way, always on his toes. And Colonels are going to have to be on their toes tonight, Mr. Briggs. Gretna features a pretty good starting five there and some names that we're real familiar with.
Yeah, they'll start with Deion Rosser, Tristan Grace, Santonio Witcher, Virgil Glass, and Javon Bennett in the game for Gretna. And then the Colonels, without Thornhill, they'll go with Michi Malbeck, Demetrius Johnson, Darius Johnson, Richard Hubbard, and Walker Allen.
Yeah, Allen has been the guy that has really filled in pretty well. I remember when Thornhill missed the game earlier against Nelson County, they went with Navy Jones. Been going with Walker Allen a lot, though, here lately, and Allen has played very well. There's some discussion at the scorer's table going on right now. Referees are conferring with the coaches. And, Oscar, about the only thing that I could think of would be a scorebook issue where maybe a starter wasn't put in there right. You got to submit your starters. I think it's 10 minutes before game time. You got to have those in the scorebook. It's about the only thing I can muster up, and it appears like nothing's going to happen. No technical foul or anything issued.
And that's a pretty good indicator because that's usually what you see out of that situation is a technical, depending on how many transgressions there were.
Right. Well, Santonio Wisher's going to jump for the Gretna Hawks. For the Altavista Colonels, it's going to be number 10, Darius Johnson. Colonels in the road, black jerseys. Got the orange trim. Colonels in the home white with the blue and gold trim. Tip goes to the Gretna Hawks. Seth Short controlling, left-hand dribble, gets to the three-point line, now hands it off to Virgil Glass. Glass over to Deion Rosser.
Colonels open up in a man-to-man.
Yep. Stifling man-to-man at that. Hubbard guarding Rosser. Rosser trying to look in. Now he gets it high post to Von Bennett. Bennett gives it right back to Rosser and tries to set himself on that high post again. Deion Rosser acting as a point guard now. Crossover dribble. Running to his right. Now cut off. He's going to step it up. Right side of the lane, puts up a shot, but it is erased by Darius Johnson. Great help defense there from big number 10, Darius Johnson.
Nice job of Deion Rosser getting to the hoop, penetrated, made a little crossover, but nice job recovering for the Colonels. Demetrius getting the block.
Yeah, Rosser, he's savvy. He's a senior. He's been around for a long time, football and basketball. We know him well. Puts up a 10-foot jumper, won't go in. Fun player to watch, too. Rebound by Richard Hubbard. He kicks the head quickly to Michi Malbeck. Michi going to throw it back to Richard, who is standing inside the half-court circle. 7 minutes to play here in the Apple Market first quarter. Still no score from Gretna. First possession of the ball game for the Altavista Colonels. Demetrius Johnson throws it foul line to Darius Johnson. Johnson, spin move, puts up the 10-footer. Won't go in, but there's Demetrius for the board. Demetrius puts it up, and he gets it swatted away. And the Colonels come out of there with no points. The Hawks came away with the basketball, but a double dribble violation is going to send it back to Altavista.
Yeah, nice call. And Gretna opened up in a man-to-man there. It was pretty suffocating as well. Nice job by Johnson getting to the bucket. And Demetrius had a little bit of a shot, but couldn't follow that down. But nice job on the boards on that play.
Yeah, it was good sound man-to-man defense from the Hawks.
And let's face it, we know the Hawks are not short on athletes.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of size, too. They're athletic and they're quick. Size-wise, really the only team you can compare them to is Dan River. Maybe not quite the offensive threats there, but this Gretna basketball team is very good. Malback driving left hand, slip for a moment. Basketball loose, but it's controlled by Demetrius Johnson. Johnson, no look to brother Darius, and that is blocked away by Von Bennett. He's blocked another one away. This crowd is into it. Here come the Hawks. Rosser will pull up from 11 feet. No good. Rebound by Walker Allen. That's stripped away. He lost it. Basketball going back to Gretna. 3 ball on the way from Graves. No good. This rebound still loose. Graves almost got it back, but Demetrius will control it. And now he gets it back. This will slow things down. And here he comes with a right-hand dribble. Stopped at the foul line. Kick out to Walker Allen. Now over to Richard Hubbard. Hubbard's going to reset some things.
And a nice crowd here at Gretna tonight. Probably 75% full, Kyle.
Yep. Vocal, too. They got excited when Bennett got those back-to-back blocks. Michi Malback fakes a 3, goes baseline. Up and under backdoor layup is good. That starts the scoring for everybody. It's a 2-0 Colonel lead. 5:44 to play in the Apple Market first quarter.
And we see Michi continue to mature and be able to penetrate like that. He didn't have that move late in the year.
Yeah, heady play right there. Here comes a block by Darius Johnson. Return to sender. They throw it ahead quickly. He was looking for brother Demetrius, but it wouldn't go in. The pass wouldn't get completed. And it was Darius Johnson rejecting Santonio Witcher.
And for Gretna, number 22, Taquan Oates into the game.
Gotcha.
For Gretna.
Didn't have him on my roster here, but that's what Oscar Briggs. That's why he's an award winner, best in the business. Graves, pump fake from 5 feet, no good. Shot was altered. Ball back has to save it. Good job to find Richard Hubbard as he was going out of bounds. 2-0 lead still for the Altavista Colonels.
And I'm not sure Darius didn't get a piece of that. That might have been his third block here with 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Colonels lead 2-0.
Well, I said Darius erased one. We might start calling him the eraser, the way he just wipes those shots out of the air. Demetrius Johnson. Crossover dribble, kicked it off his own foot. Deion Rosser has it for the Hawks. Coming down, nice bounce pass to Witcher, and he scores the bucket with the left hand. Tie ball game 2-2. Boy, and I imagine you've got to be able to hear that crowd on your radio or your internet or your smartphone because they are vocal, they are loud, and really there's still some more people waiting to find a seat, although it's not quite 100% full. Malback driving, middle of the lane, jump stop, lost the basketball, going out of bounds, and it looks like it's going to stay to the Colonels. With 4:30 to play in the first quarter. 2-2 is our score, Oscar.
And it's been a while since we've seen this kind of crowd at a Gretna Altavista ball game, Kyle.
Yep.
I know that Gretna has lost 20. It's some obscene number, 21 in a row, 20.
They haven't beaten the Altavista Colonels since the 2004 season, but it is in the 20s there as far as the streak. Foul away from the basketball. This is going against the Hawks, and that is against number 22, Taquan Oates. A little too much body banging going on down low with Demetrius Johnson. First foul of the game for anybody. Comes with 4:19 to play in the Apple Market first quarter. It's a 2-2 score.
Both teams still in the man-to-man.
Yep. Lob pass. Hubbard's going to throw it in to Walker Allen at the three-point line, and Walker just overshot his target, which was Michi Malback. Turnover for the Colonels. It'll be Hawks basketball. They'll inbound here at midcourt. 4:16 to play in the Apple Market first quarter. Tie ball game at 2.
One of those unforced errors as he was going back out near that midcourt line, and nobody near Michi just overthrew him.
Yeah, it really was unforced. Santonio Witcher going baseline, got in a bad spot, so he dished it off to Graves. Graves three-pointer, a little short, wouldn't go in. Rebounded by Demetrius Johnson. It was tipped over to him by his brother Darius. Actually, I think it was Darius on the board. Demetrius with a tip, but either way, it's Altavista basketball. Another no-look. Demetrius to Darius. Darius can't finish the first one. He's got his own rebound. Getting hammered down there. Loses the basketball. Here comes Rosser out of there with it. Weaving in his way out of traffic. Layup is good. 4-2 is the Altavista Colonel lead. Darius didn't like the contact he took, and the Hawks came out of there on a dead sprint and got some points, Oscar.
Well, and if Darius turnover.
Yeah, another turnover. Hawks have got it. Witcher going down. Now he lost it. Picked up by Oates. Oates kick out to Von Bennett. 3-ball. Little strong. Rebound to Oates. He kicks it down low to Santonio Witcher. His layup won't go in. Finally, the Colonels get the basketball back. Coach Carlero really imploring his team to slow down and stay composed. And, boy, it's that kind of an atmosphere. It's Gretna Altavista. You know it gets wild and crazy. Michi Malback has it in the far corner from us. Colonels are going left to right from our perspective, south to north as we are on the floor again, courtside, and we're pretty close to the baseline here. We're right where the baseline and the sideline meet down at Gretna's scoring basket. Malbeck slipped, lost the basketball. Here come the Hawks again. Bennett, baseball passes it to Dion Rosser in the front court. Dion's going to slow down, let some teammates join him. Nice dish off to Oaks. Oaks got it on the low block and scores it, and he's fouled. 6-2 Gretna lead. Coach Cardellaro wants a timeout. Oaks will have a chance for a three-point play after the timeout. We'll take a 30-second one with them. 2:39 to play. Gretna with the early lead on 105.5 KD Country.
High school athletics builds character, teaches teamwork, and provides a solid foundation for life. PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this sports broadcast for your enjoyment. PCM Industrial Services encourages everyone to come on out and watch the game. It's a great time for the whole family. Cheer on the Colonels. PCM Industrial Services, the industrial maintenance and construction specialists, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality craftsmen since 1986. Good luck, Colonels.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from Gretna High School, Oscar, we talked about it. Altavista's won a bunch in a row against Gretna, but I always said when Bob Alvis and I chatted about it last year, the Hawks aren't thinking about that when they're on the court. They might think about that leading up to the game, but when you're on the hardwood, you're just thinking about winning this one, and the Hawks do a pretty good job so far. It's a 6-2 Gretna lead. Free throw on the way from Taquan Oaks. Soft back iron, no good. Rebounded by both Johnson brothers, and Darius just lets Demetrius have it there. 2:35 to play in the Apple Market first quarter. Hubbard, chest pass over to Walker Allen on the right wing. Allen holds it above his head, looking inside for somebody. He gets to the free throw line to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson over to Darius, back to Walker, over to Michi, over to Richard. Great ball movement. All five Colonels touching it there within a matter of 3 or 4 seconds. It's back to Walker Allen on the right wing. Looks like the Hawks have gone into a zone.
They're doing a nice job of closing out on the three-point shooters, not allowing them a shot.
Exactly. Demetrius back to the basket, just going to dish it off to Walker Allen. Allen is about a full 35 feet away. Gets it to Demetrius at the free throw line. Demetrius pump fake, puts up a shot. He is fouled, and the shot won't go in, but he will be headed to the charity stripe to shoot a pair. Looks like that was on Taquan Oaks. I believe that's his second.
That is his second, and no sooner did you say they were in zone than they went back in a matchup man-to-man. So both teams going at it here.
Yeah, and I always like that strategy, if you can pull it off and if you can do it well, is switching back and forth between a man and a zone, because it really seems to confuse the offense and hard to get any kind of offensive rhythm. First free throw, no good for Demetrius Johnson off back iron. It's Antonio Witcher checking back in the game for the Hawks. On the court right now for the Altavista Colonels, their starters, brothers Johnson, Darius and Demetrius, Walker Allen, Michi Malbeck, and Richard Hubbard. 1:57 to play in the Apple Market first quarter. 6-2 is the Gretna lead. Second free throw, no good. Misses both, but Walker Allen's got a rebound. Just passes it right back over to Demetrius. It got knocked out of there. Don't know if Demetrius was shooting or trying to pass, but got swatted away.
Nice job by Walker Allen getting up and being able to tip that ball around and gain control of it. Give this Colonels another possession here, trailing 6-2 with 1:53 remaining here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Walker Allen had a real nice rebounding day against Rustburg Saturday. Michi Malbeck catches it on the inbounds, and he's got a foot on the line.
And that's his third unforced turnover.
Yep.
He had 2 where he wasn't able to maintain his footing. He just fell down. That time he stepped on the sideline.
The Colonels have a bunch of those so far. Navy Jones checking in the basketball game for Walker Allen. Speedy lineup out there now. Still a 6-2 Gretna lead. 1:51 to play, so another low-scoring affair so far anyway. Graves going to bring it up for the Hawks. Little crossover dribble. Passes it left wing to Dion Rosser. Rosser, ball over his head, looking inside. Too many steps there as Virgil Glass caught it. Wasn't really sure of himself as far as what he wanted to do. So there's an unforced turnover for the Hawks as well.
A lot of intensity, a lot of nerve. It looks like a lot of nerves tonight, Kyle.
I agree. Some people say this rivalry's lost a little bit. Judging from this first quarter, you wouldn't know it. Great rivalry game here. And like you said, some nerves by both teams. Big crowd that's gotten into it. It's the old-fashioned Gretna Altavista basketball game renewed right here. Demetrius Johnson driving to the basket. Puts up the little 5-footer off the window and in. Nice job right there by Demetrius to get points. 6-4. Altavista has cut into the lead. Hawks still have it, though, with 1:10 to play in the Apple Market first quarter. Graves controlling it for the Hawks. He'll get it to the middle of the lane, stops at about 14 feet, and then just passes it away. It's Antonio Witcher, low block, puts it off the window, no good. Rebounded by Darius Johnson. He'll kick it over to Malbeck. Go ahead.
And that was effective, but that shot was affected by Darius. It didn't get a hand on it, but it certainly affected the shot.
Great point. Darius has really been a monster as far as defensively tonight. 3 blocks, and he's altered quite a few more already. Navy Jones right wing, pump fake on the pass. Now he gets it over to Darius Johnson. Johnson driving, middle of the lane, stopped at about 7 foot. Not a really good shot there as far as form goes. Didn't go in. Rebounded by Gretna, but they lost it. Hubbard lobs it over to Darius. Darius has to save it. Demetrius has it. Now it's lost again. Hawks coming out of there with it. Von Bennett driving. Navy Jones tried to take a charge, and they called a block on him really late. Wow.
And that was a late whistle.
Yeah.
Navy looked like he got set. He may not have given the player enough room to come down, but he got set, and then the block wasn't called until the ball went out of bounds. A little bit of hesitation. They probably got the call right.
Yeah, it was an interesting play on a lot of levels because the ball was getting bounced back and forth like pinball. Gretna finally came out of there with it. Von Bennett raced it down the court. Navy Jones looked like he might have beaten him to the spot. And the blocking foul was called as Von Bennett was in the act of shooting. It's the first foul on Navy Jones. First free throw, no good. 6-4 with 20.6 seconds left to play in the Apple Market first quarter. Second free throw on the way from Bennett. Bends the knees, fires it, and this one's nothing but net. 7-4 now is the Gretna lead. Jones will bring it up to the Altavista Colonels. Under 17 seconds now. And you know, sometimes Altavista likes to hold for one shot in these possessions. We'll see. Down to 10 seconds. Jones has it. Left wing, now left point. Dimitri Malbeck down to 4 seconds. Michi's got to hurry. Going to use a screen from Demetrius. Michi puts it up, and that is blocked away, out of bounds, and that will bring an end to the first quarter. Gretna, very, very good start for them, but the Colonels are far from out of it. It's a 7-4 Hawks lead. Second quarter on the way when you come back on 105.5 KD Country.
This month's specials from your Apple Market convenience stores. Coke 6-pack cans, $1.29 and 24 cans for $6.99. Extra large Lay's chips selling for $3.49. Chicken Parmesan sandwiches and subs special price reduction for January. A Piece's delicious fried chicken now $7.99 from 4 to 8 p.m. only at Apple Market locations Riverside, Gateway, and Main Street, Altavista. You know what they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
51 years of outstanding high school sports, and we've seen this rivalry a lot over those 51 years, Mr. Briggs. 7-4, Gretna has the lead there in the first quarter.
Great job defensively by Gretna, taking Altavista away from the hoop, getting hands in the passing lanes, really disrupting what the Colonels want to do. Obviously, they want to go in without the presence of Juan Thornhill, who can really create off the dribble and penetrate and open up things for the brothers Johnson. But Gretna's done a good job in negating that tonight.
They have. They've taken away the inside. I don't think Altavista has even tried a three-pointer.
No.
And they've taken away the outside well. Colonels will start the second quarter with it. Michi Malbeck at half court, inbounding it to Navy Jones. Jones just walks it into the front court. Gretna appears to me like they're back in the man-to-man defense, Oscar. We'll see how long that stays. Darius Johnson, right wing. Now he's in the right corner. He's in trouble. Had to get it to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck catches it and swings it over left point to Richard Hubbard. Hubbard now left wing to Navy Jones. Jones will dribble it out front of the court, just going to hand it off to Demetrius Johnson. 7:34 to play in the Apple Market first quarter. Demetrius trying to use a crossover dribble. Over to brother Darius. It's 5 guys out for Altavista. Backdoor cut by Michi Malbeck. Catches it, and that's blocked away, but he is fouled. He'll head to the free throw line. Colonel's really spreading out the floor there with the 5-out motion. Nobody posting up down low.
Really nobody out. And brothers Johnson out, 15, 18, 20 feet from the basket. Really nobody on the Colonel's floor. Richard Hubbard's really the only three-point threat on the floor for the Colonels right now.
Yeah, Michi obviously can shoot it in streaks, but I don't think he looks to shoot the three ball that much.
Well, and without Juan in the ball game, he's really forced to take on more point guard opportunities, and he really doesn't have the opportunities to shoot that he normally would with Juan in the game.
Great point. Josh McClure checking in the game now for Darius Johnson. He joins. Go ahead.
No, and there's your three-point threat.
Yeah,
Josh can shoot the three.
Absolutely. Josh is joining Michi Malbeck, who made the first free throw. Demetrius Johnson, Richard Hubbard, and Navy Jones. It's at 7-5. Colonel lead. Second on the way for Malbeck. Back iron, no good. Rebounded by the Hawks. That's Von Bennett who controls it.
And this is a really small lineup for the Colonels.
It is. Rosser running the point guard spot, driving in the middle of the lane. He falls down, and he tried to pass it off. Quick whistle there, though, as he lost his footing. They called it travel, so that's another turnover. We've seen that 3 or 4 times, Oscar, guys losing their footing. And I always talk about these Pittsylvania County schools. The fans tend to walk out on the court a lot when they're going to their seats. And I think they bring a lot of dust and stuff in from
I'm not
outside.
sure that it's not the hockey floor and condensation up underneath.
It could be. It is a humid, muggy night outside. A good night to stay in, listen to 105.5 and hear the game. Ball back, left wing, over to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson now in the corner to Richard Hubbard. Hubbard, right-hand dribble, gets it middle of the court, over to Navy Jones. Jones over to Malback. Under 7 minutes to play now in the first. 7-5, Gretna lead. Malback has it again after a short pass there to Hubbard. Now to Demetrius Johnson, right wing. Looking to go inside. Just holds it over his head. Now he's going to try the baseline. Spin move, puts up a shot, altered. Will it fall? It will not. It hung up on the rim there for a while, but would not go down. Demetrius Johnson headed back to the free throw strike. 6:43 to play in the Apple Market second quarter. And as you hear about Walker Allen checking back in the game, remember 3 great Apple Market locations in Altavista: Main Street, Gateway, and Riverside. 7-5 is the Gretna lead. Scratch that, make it 7-6 as Demetrius Johnson knocks down the first free throw.
Good to see Demetrius get to the line, knock down that first free throw.
You have 4 team fouls for the Gretna Hawks, just 2 for the Altavista Colonels. Second free throw on the way. And that one in and out, no good. Rebounded by Vaughn Bennett, the Gretna Hawks. Demetrius takes the front end. Rosser will bring it up. Right-hand dribble going down right sideline. Turns, changes directions. Now he stops at the free throw line. Gets it to Witcher. Witcher got banged up in the air. Excuse me, that was Virgil Glass. They're going to say Glass walked with the basketball when he took that big jump step, I think.
It looked like he got bumped on it and was forced into that big step by Walker Allen. So Glass wasn't real pleased with the call, but that's what it is.
Yeah, I think they even out in the long run. We've seen some interesting ones so far here tonight. Not an easy game to officiate, that's for sure. Allen has it. Now he'll pitch it over to Michi Malback. Malback controlling for the Altavista Colonels. Crossover dribble, now right hand. Looking inside. Thought about driving, but dishes it out. And McClure has it right wing. Back to Malback. Michi 25 feet away the basket. He gets to the three-point line to Demetrius Johnson, the left wing. Right back to Michi Malback. Michi crossover dribble. Now spin move. He pulls up from 15 feet. Won't go in. Rebounded by Santonio Witcher. Boy, Gretna's been pretty good on the glass here, specifically in this second quarter. Got under 6 minutes to go. Rosser driving. He's cut off right there at the left block. And now he loses him on the turnover. Here comes Navy Jones ahead to Walker Allen. Allen can't finish, but Demetrius Johnson is there on the tip back. Great job there by the Colonels running the fast break. And good job by Demetrius not to assume that Walker Allen was going to make the layup. It's an 8-7 Colonel lead. First time Altavista's had one.
It was a very nice pass by Navy Jones.
Yeah, it's a shame Navy couldn't get the assist there, but a good job to follow up, and Navy Jones comes out of there with a rebound like we talked about. Navy, nobody in front of him in the basket, but he lost it. Good job by Gretna to recover and get position. Here comes Vaughn Bennett, left side of the paint, puts it up right hand, won't go in, rebounded by Walker Allen. Good job by the Colonels to recover on the Gretna fast break.
And the Hawks have been able to get to the rim 2 or 3 times and just not finish. I mean, snowbirds.
Yep. Navy puts up a pump fake, kicks it out to Michi Malback. Malback takes too many steps. Another turnover for the Altavista Colonels.
Another unforced turnover from Michi Malback.
Yep, 2 starters checking back in the game for the Colonels. Richard Hubbard is one of them. Darius Johnson is the other. They will join Navy Jones, Demetrius Johnson, and Walker Allen. 5:05 to play in the Apple Market second quarter. 1 point Colonel lead, 8-7.
Colonel's a little bit out of sync, but you got to give Gretna some credit for that. They're tough defensively tonight.
Very, very tough. Coach Beard got a good game plan going in. He's got his guys playing much better here in the second half of the season. Santonio Witcher from 7 feet won't go in. Side of the iron, it's rebounded by Darius Johnson. Navy Jones will walk it ahead into the front court for the Colonels. 5:42 to play, 8-7 Altavista lead. Over to left wing to Demetrius Johnson. Nice lob pass to brother Darius. Darius catches it. He's got to work through a double team. He does. Count the basket right there from Darius Johnson. Great lob pass by brother Demetrius to find him, too, Oscar.
Boy, great feed over the top of the defender who was fronting him, but no chance. Great job by Johnson getting that ball in.
10-7 Altavista. Stretch their lead out to 3. Tristan Graves has it to the Hawks. Chest pass over to Rosser. Rosser takes the 3. Now he'll pull up from 17 feet. Left wing won't go in. Rebounded by the Hawks. That's Virgil Glass. He sends it back out to Tristan Graves. Hawks going to reset the offense. Graves, pull up 3, in and out. No good. It actually went off the glass first, but would not go in. Had a chance to, though.
Not to be confused with Virgil Glass.
Yeah, it's going to be tough all the way around tonight. Walker Allen thought about trying a three ball. He'll pass it instead to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson, top of the key, looking inside. Now they get it in the corner to Navy Jones. Jones looking inside as well. Still the man-to-man defense from Gretna. They've stayed in this for a little while. It's a 10-7 Altavista Colonel lead.
And it's worked well for them.
It has. They're really playing high-pressure defense. They trail by 3 right now. Darius Johnson just going to back it out. Nobody coming out beyond the three-point line to guard him. And he'll pass it over to Richard Hubbard. Hubbard is guarded by Tristan Graves. Altavista basketball with 3:20 to play in the half. Richard 1 foot away from that half-court stripe. Thinking about driving. Now he'll pass it over to Navy Jones. Colonels appear to be just kind of running some clock around, waiting for maybe a defensive breakdown from the Hawks. They give it to Demetrius Johnson, top of the key. Demetrius fakes, passing over to Richard Hubbard. Hubbard thought about a three but didn't like it. Now in the other corner to Navy Jones. Jones splitting the defense, driving. He is fouled. Shot hit the bottom of the rim and didn't go in.
Nice job of Navy penetrating those. Very good patience by the Colonels. Pass the ball around the perimeter, had probed a little bit. Navy was able to turn the corner on Deion Rosser, which is not easy to do, and get to the rim.
Gretna looks like they want a timeout before Navy Jones shoots the free throws. We'll take it with them. It's a 10-7 Altavista Colonel lead. Just under 3 minutes to play in the half here on 105.5 KD Country.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoons, so you can buy anytime, any day, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business and making them the #1 Mexican restaurant in town.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
2:57 to play here in the Apple Market second quarter. It's a 10-7 Altavista lead. Coach Beard wanted a timeout for his Gretna Hawks squad, Oscar, and it's really been a pretty good game plan by Coach Beard
Well,
so far.
very strong defense from both teams, and you talk about 2:57 remain here in the second quarter, 10-7. That's more like a Gretna Altavista football score.
Good point. 10-7. I'm sure it was probably 10-7 at some point. Hawks get the 1-point victory on the gridiron this year. Altavista did get the big win last year, their first one in a while. First free throw goes down by Navy Jones, number 4 for the Altavista Colonels. Gives their lead a little cushion, 11-7. Second one on the way. Sinks that as well, 12-7. Colonel advantage now. Gretna throws it in. Navy Jones guarding Tristan Graves. He'll just get it over to Taquan Oakes. Back to Graves. Graves getting into the front court now, looking for a screen. He'll pass it over to Deion Rosser, right wing instead. Deion Rosser looking inside the defense. He'll circle it. Spin move. Shot going up from 10 feet. Won't go in, but it's rebounded by the Hawks. Let's see who it is down there. It's Taquan Oakes who puts it up and in, and he's fouled. He's headed to the free throw line for the three-point play. It's a 12-9 Altavista advantage now.
Nice patience by Gretna on that play. We're able to penetrate. Walker Allen picks up, like you said, picks up his second. Excuse me, that's his first.
Oakes headed to the free throw line to try and convert the and one. Gretna had good rebounding position on that play when Rosser put up his jump shot. Free throw, no good, and it's rebounded by Darius Johnson. Here come the Colonels the other way. Michi Maltback has checked back in the basketball game for Altavista. 2.5 minutes to play now in the quarter. Demetrius Johnson holds it over his head. He'll just underhand it over to Navy Jones. Jones, middle of the court, 35 feet away from the basket. Bringing it to his right just a hair. Now back to the middle over to Demetrius Johnson. Colonels continuing to work that perimeter over to Richard Hubbard. Hubbard will pull up from the foul line. Shot no good, side of the iron. Altavista has to save it. They get it back. Darius Johnson has it, right block, puts it up, in and out, won't go. But he is fouled in the process. Headed to the free throw stripe to shoot a pair. 2:07 to play in the half. Colonels lead 12-9.
Nice job by Darius getting up on that. Richard had a little floater from about 12 feet and clanked it off the iron.
Colonels did a good job to get it back. Richard did have a pretty solid look there from the foul line. First free throw goes in for Darius Johnson. And remember the Apple Market specials. You can hear about them all game long. At all three great locations. Second free throw on the way. Converts both. Darius Johnson, nice job there. Colonels have made 4 in a row from the stripe, I believe. And it's a 14-9 Altavista lead. 2:05 to play in the half. Vaughn Bennett Picks up his dribble for the Hawks. Got to go somewhere. He's guarded tightly by Demetrius Johnson. Just does get it off to Deion Rosser. Rosser, middle of the court. Chest pass over to Tristan Graves. Graves thinking about a three. He'll go lob pass down low to Oaks. It's tipped away. Ends up in the hands of Richard Hubbard. Good steal there by the Altavista Colonels. Demetrius Johnson. He'll start things from the left wing. Driving. He stopped at the free throw line. Now he'll pull up for a 17-footer. No good. Back of the iron. Too strong. Trying to track down his own rebound. He can't. Gets in the hands of Taquan Oaks and the Gretna Hawks. Here comes Santonio Witcher the other way. Excuse me, that's Virgil Glass. Shot won't go in. Rebounded by Demetrius Johnson. Michi Malbeck going to run the modified fast break. Driving to the basket. Up and under layup. Won't go, but there's Darius for the rebound. He puts up a shot. It won't go, but he's fouled. Rosser had a hand on his wrist. And the Colonels are headed back to the free throw stripe. Boy, only 17 fouls for Gretna, Oscar, but it seems like they've all been in the act of shooting because Altavista's been on the free throw stripe a lot.
Well, they have, and let's give credit to the Colonels because they've been able to penetrate a lot, but they haven't finished at the rim, but they've had great job offensive rebounding, getting back, and really that's where they've gotten to the line.
Yep. Makes 3 in a row for Darius Johnson from the free throw line. He makes that one. It's a 15-9 lead. Well, Gretna's just got 2 points in this quarter, Oscar. Altavista just had 2 points in the fourth quarter for a while. 16-9. Darius Johnson converts both. 4 in a row for him. I believe it's 6 in a row for Altavista as a team from the free throw stripe. Gretna basketball with 1:10 to play in the half. Seth Short back in the basketball game. Guarded by Michi Malbeck. Short trying to go to the baseline. Puts up a off-balance runner. Won't go in. And rebounded by Darius Johnson again.
And Darius is starting to really dominate the inside of this ball game.
He is. He's getting position. He's using his height. He's using his strength. Making it work for him. We're under 60 seconds to play now in the half. Pass taken away by Seth Short. Good job to step into the lane. Can't convert the layup. And really a bit of a wasted opportunity there for the Hawks after a nice steal. Malbeck,
huge,
three-pointer,
huge.
Big. They actually say it's a long two, but I'll tell you, I'm with you, Oscar. It's huge from a momentum standpoint. Referee definitely made a 2-point signal there, but it definitely got the Colonel crowd into it. Bennett lost it. Foul called. Whistle wasn't very audible, but official definitely did call a foul there.
Yeah, Short had an easy breakaway. There was nobody within 7 or 8 feet. I mean, went up, put a little bit of spin on the ball. It kicked off, and then Colonels quickly went back, turning around. Michi knocking down what appeared to be the 3 from our angle, but, you know, they called it a 2.
Yeah, 18-9 is the Colonel lead. It's just 14 fouls on Altavista. I believe they called on Richard Hubbard, his first. Gretna will run the stack inbounds play. They get it over to Short. Short now to Von Bennett. Bennett taking the drive. Now he does use the drive. Stops at the edge of the paint, but he is fouled in the process right there. He'll go to the free throw line. It's on one of the Johnson brothers. Let's see. It's on Darius Johnson. They were both in the area. 18-9 is the Colonel lead with 20 seconds to play. Second team foul on Darius Johnson.
And without his second foul, you got to believe Darius didn't think, he thought it was on his brother Demetrius. He was going to throw him under the bus, but you got to believe that Darius is going to come out.
Yeah, it looks like McClure checking in for him. Free throw by Von Bennett goes in. McClure does enter the game for Darius Johnson. He joins Demetrius Johnson, Richard Hubbard, Michi Malbeck, and Navy Jones. 20 seconds to play in the half. 18-10 Colonel lead. Second free throw up and in. High arcing free throw there by Bennett, but he converts both. 18-11 now. Colonels with 17 seconds. Navy Jones will bring it into the front court. Left hand dribble. He's going to walk it towards the middle of the court, guarded by Tristan Graves. McClure headed to the top of the key. Almost lost it momentarily. He'll pull up from the free throw line. No good. Little off balance there. Shot wouldn't go in. 1.2 seconds left. They'll say it'll stay with Altavista. Looks like it might have gone off the Colonels. Now they do change their mind. They'll say Hawks basketball.
And that's the right call.
Yeah. Good job by the Colonels to get it right. Hawks with 1.2 seconds left to get off a buzzer beater. Let's see. Oaks gets an inbound to Graves. Graves lost the handle. Couldn't get a shot up, so he played one half. It's a low-scoring half, but the Colonels do have a lead, 18-11. Subway halftime show on the way when you come back on 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
Buying a car at Feller Chevrolet has never been a hassle, but during our no-hassle sale, it's even easier. All new and used vehicles are priced and marked with rock-bottom prices on the lot and on the web to make car shopping as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Come to Feller Chevrolet in Altavista or go to fellersdirect.com. 2. Pick the vehicle that fits your budget. 3. Drive it home today. No pressure, no hassle.
A short drive will save you money. Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
This basketball game is brought to you by the Katy Country Sports Club.
Aubrey Rosser Law Firm in Altavista, first choice for any and all legal advice.
Steve Farmer Auto Sales, where there's always a good selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs priced right. Steve Farmer Auto Sales, 1112 Main Street.
Sharky's Pest Control in Hurt let Tony take a bite out of your pest control needs. Doing business the old-fashioned way to keep you coming back.
Main Street Trading Company Consignment, now open Wednesday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturdays, 9 to 4.
El Cerrito in Altavista, throw on a sombrero and shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels lead 18-11. I'm Kyle Hoehne back with Oscar Briggs. And Mr. Briggs, the Colonels trailed after one quarter of play. Much better second quarter there. They took care of the basketball and seemed to rebound a lot better, too.
Yeah, they did. And, Gretna came out and with a very, very tough man-to-man defense. Had a 6-4 lead at the beginning, at the end of the first quarter. And Colonels looked like they did adjusted, a little bit more patient. Were able to get to the rim, not finished as well, but great job offensive glass. The brothers Johnson started to step up, outscored them 14-5, and as a result, Colonels lead 18-11. A defensive battle for sure.
Absolutely. It still could be a football score, although 11 is sometimes hard to come by in football, but it can happen. And this one, with the physicality and that sort of thing, it does have the feel of a rugged gridiron out there for both of these teams. And, both teams really do have a lot of guys on the roster that play football and basketball, so it's not hard to make that analogy. It's not hard to know how good Subway is either. Two great locations in Altavista. In the Walmart on the Clarion Road, and then also on Main Street. February, so much going on at Subway. Meatball marinara, oven-baked chicken is the $3 select. The flat pizzas, the new flatbread pizzas are in there. Valentine's Day is coming up. Get your gift card. All kinds of great stuff at Subway. And the Subway halftime show, always great as well. And Colonel fans love it when they got a lead at the Subway halftime show, don't they?
Yeah, they really do. And again, 12-3 for the Colonels. Nice season so far. Again, we alluded to the fact earlier. It's well documented that it's been just a very odd season. 2 games a week, 3 games a week, 1 game a week. 2.5 weeks late getting started. 3 weeks getting late started because of the state championship. So it's been a really disjointed season. Hard to get the rhythm. But all in all, the Colonels have performed well.
They have. I think they've really weathered the storm, literally and figuratively. And, sometimes when the weather is bad and you get a game canceled, you can still practice. Sometimes you can't, and that hasn't made anything easier on Coach Carlero. He doesn't have the same amount of practice days. And you and he had a short little discussion before the game about, just things going on, off the court issues, on the court issues, just trying to make everything work out. And again, he has not had an easy time this year, and the players know that. And I think part of the problem is the expectations, Mr. Briggs. Colonels are still defending state champions, and I think everybody, or not everybody, but a lot of people think, hey, you're the defending state champs, you should come out and beat everybody by 40, and that just doesn't happen.
Well, and not only the defending state champions, but you've got everybody back from the team that did win the state championship. So, expectations were high, and if you talk to the community, if you talk to the players, anything is easy for me to say, anything short of getting back to the state championship game would probably be looked at as a little bit of a disappointment.
Right.
Now, that being said, with the realignment, you look at some of the teams that are in the single A now with Altavista. You look at Radford, who in double A won the state championship last year. They're now a single A team.
Right.
It's going to be a tough road to hoe.
It is, and I think, you touched on it. I'll touch on it again. You got to manage those expectations. Everybody wants to see you do well. We want to see the Colonels do as well as anybody. But you just can't expect that they're going to win every game. You can't expect that they're going to win every game by 30 or 40 because that just doesn't happen. I mean, that's sports. Teams are good, but take those Seattle Seahawks for example. They don't win every game by the margin that they did in the Super Bowl, and they don't win every game to boot. Doesn't mean they're not the best team in the league. And it doesn't mean that the Colonels don't have a great team. They got an 18-11 lead right now. Let's step aside for a timeout on the Subway halftime show, shall we? We'll come back with stats and thoughts, everything else going on, get you the scheduling update, of course, and be back with the second half after this short timeout. It's an 18-11 Colonel lead on the Subway halftime show on 105.5 KD Country.
English is
so much more.
English is
More than a hardware store.
English
is your complete home center. Everything for every job you do. Always here for you.
Get the quality you really need. That's English is
so much more.
English is
More than a hardware store.
English is
your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista open Saturday 8 to 4.
Man, it's cold in here. What's wrong with your heater?
Well, it used to work pretty good.
Back in the 90s, just call Select Air and get it fixed.
Oh, it'll probably cost a lot of money.
No, it won't, because Donnie will give you a fair price and get it done right the first time.
Maybe I'll call Select Air tomorrow.
No, you will call Select Air today, because it's freezing in here.
Select Air, 841-1580. 841-1580. Online at selectair.webs.com.
For more than 103 years, we've offered special banking assistance to many nonprofit organizations. I'm Kathy Morgan with First National Bank, and we have a checking account just for nonprofits and faith-based organizations that has no minimum balance requirement and no monthly maintenance fee. We also specialize in offering financing when your group needs a loan. So come see us at First National Bank, and we'll provide your organization with an extraordinary customer experience. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
51 years of outstanding high school sports coverage on 105.5 KD Country. Maybe you're listening to kdcountry.com. Maybe you're listening after the fact on YouTube. You can thank Feller Chevrolet for that. And Oscar Briggs, I believe, has the statistics ready for us. And Mr. Briggs, we've said it before, we'll say it again. Low-scoring game here tonight, so that made it a little bit easier on your stat sheet.
Yeah, it really does. And you talk about balanced scoring. The Colonels, Michi Malbeck with 5, Navy Jones with 2, Demetrius with 5, Darius with 6, and that's it for the Colonels. And you look at Gretna, Javon Bennett with 3, Deion Rosser with 2, Taquan Oates with 4, Santonio Witcher with 2, and Gretna with 11 points. Coach Cardallero, 145 here remaining in halftime, and Coach Cardallaro's still got his kids in the locker room. You got to wonder what that's got to be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, you get the way halftime works in high school, at least around here anyway. You get 10 minutes, 10-minute break there. And usually, the coach will give his guys a minute or 2 or 3 in there by themselves just to grab some water and talk amongst themselves while the coach thinks about what he's going to say to the team. Then the coach will come in and talk for 2, 3, 4 minutes, and then that leaves another 3 minutes to come out and shoot around a little bit, get the legs loose. But you're right, Colonels are now just getting back on the court, so Coach Cardallero using a little bit more time to talk to his ball club. And I got to imagine that one of the main messages is, hey, you're in for a dogfight tonight. Anytime you come down to Gretna, it's going to be a battle. And you got to expect that. You got to expect in the second half. Low-scoring game at 18-11. So the Hawks are only down 7. I mean, really, that's runs of 7 points or more happen all the time in basketball. And that very same thing could be happening in the second half here tonight. Just a question of who's going to make it.
I think that's a real valid point. And that you look at the second quarter and you think, well, the Colonels really dominated, but they're only up by 7. So anybody's ball game still. And look for a tight game here in the third quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. It was low scoring down at Dan River Friday. Very low scoring actually down there at Dan River Friday for the first half. Things picked up, business picked up as usual. And I think Oscar and I, not that we hope for low scoring games, we just hope for good basketball. But I think you and I are both still trying to catch our breath after that Stewart's draft game where the Colonels scored over 100 points, which is primarily a byproduct of that up-tempo style that Stewart's draft played, but the Colonels really fit right into that system with no problem.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit out of shape. Again, I've been on a hiatus, so I hadn't done a game in a couple of weeks. So
I know you're not physically out of shape with the amount of miles you log up and down the streets of Altavista there and at the local workout facilities. Inbound by the Gretna Hawks. They'll start the second half with it. Graves breaks the timeline, right-hand dribble. Remember, it's an 18-11 Altavista lead. Lost my train of thought there as Virgil Glass didn't lose his train of thought. Driving to the basketball, hoop, and puts up the left-hander. Gets it in for two. 18-13. Colonels lose the basketball, but that's because Graves has fouled Walker Allen. Yeah, maybe I'm out of shape, too. Oscar Glass just froze me there as he drove to the hoop there with a nice little move, put it in with the left hand. 7:40 to play here in the Apple Market third quarter. Altavista inbounding along the baseline into their own basket. Michi had to really hurry to get it in. Used up about 4 seconds of that 5-second count. Does throw it long to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson looking to go over to his brother Darius. In the corner to Richard Hubbard. Hubbard right here about 5 feet from us. He'll cycle it back out top of the court. Hands it off left wing to Darius Johnson. Now over to brother Demetrius. Michi had it swatted away. Here come the Hawks with it. It's Graves. Tristan Graves, ball fake, puts up the layup, count it. Wasn't the prettiest looking move by Tristan Graves, but it was effective. It's a 4-point Gretna run to come out of the halftime. It's an 18-15 Colonel lead.
And we talked about that this ball game was close. Lo and behold, a 4-zip run by Gretna, and they're within 3.
Hawks look like they're still in the man-to-man. Allen going to try 3-ball right in front of us. Count it. Great looking stroke there from Walker Allen. Literally about 7 feet from us right here in the left-hand corner. Drains it, gives the Colonels their first points of the half. 21-15. Stretching the lead back out. Graves, crossover dribble. Now he'll chest pass it over to Virgil Glass. Glass down low to Von Bennett. Von Bennett, fadeaway shot won't go in. Rebounded by Darius Johnson.
Not a high percentage shot, but what a good-looking shot that was.
It was. Great form there on the fadeaway. Looked like something you see in the NBA. 21-15. Colonels control the basketball again after the Gretna miss. Altavista running the motion offense against the Gretna man-to-man defense. 6:22 to play in the Apple Market third quarter. It's a 21-15 Altavista lead. Allen looking to go in the corner. Now he will bounce pass over to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson lowers the shoulder. Now a spin move. Puts up the shot. It was altered. Got his own rebound. That won't go in. Ball still loose, and here comes Gretna out of there with him. Graves going to run it down in a hurry. Now he will put on the red light, slow it down. Throws it in the corner to Santonio Witcher. Witcher with the long two from the baseline. No, it was Virgil Glass. Excuse me. I always get those guys confused. Glass draining it there. Good shot by him. Virgil Glass is 34. Witcher is 24. Easy to get him messed up. Demetrius Johnson running the baseline. He is stopped right there at the right block. He will get fouled. No, they called it jump ball. Jump ball on the block in the mutual possession there. So Colonels will retain on the possession arrow. 21-17. Colonels wanted a foul. Hawks like the defense. Altavista Colonel lead as Richard Hubbard will inbound. Throws it overhead to Walker Allen right there, right wing, three-point line. Now over to the left wing to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck, little head fake, shoulder fake. Just going to pass it over, short pass to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson standing on that volleyball strike. Hands it off to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck working it closer at half court. Now he throws it right wing to Walker Allen. Darius Johnson posting up on that right-hand block. They're looking to get it to him. Now they do get it to him on the left post. They get it to Hubbard. Hubbard driving after a shot fake. Hands it off to Darius Johnson. Johnson, spin move. He'll put up the jumper from 10 feet. Won't go in. Side of the iron. But you may have heard the whistle. Foul there. Looks like the foul is on Dion Rosser. That's 4 fouls on Dion Rosser, Oscar. Wow.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Dion's a spark plug. He's really the threat that can take the ball off the dribble. He's the one that leads the fast break. That's hurt. That's hurtful.
Yep. It's first free throw goes in by Darius Johnson. Not having Dion Rosser in there is it would be like the Hawks football team not having Dion Rosser in there on the gridiron. I mean, he's really the quarterback in both spots. He's a great defender as well in both sports, so they do lose that here. Darius Johnson knocks down another one from the free throw line. Boy, Colonels are really on a tear there from charity strike lately. They lead 23-17.
Gretna hanging tight. Still a 6-point game.
Oh, yeah, still anybody's ball game. Seth Short in the ball game for the Hawks. Passing it over to Virgil Glass. Back to Seth Short, left wing. Short looking inside. Chest pass back to Virgil Glass. Back to Seth Short. 2-man game. Glass will actually set him a screen. Short right-hand dribble. Guarded tightly by Michi Malbeck. Malbeck back to Virgil Glass. Glass at the free throw line. Now they get somebody else involved. That's Graves. Graves gets it back, head fake. He'll try the shot, blocked away by Richard Hubbard. How about Richard Hubbard elevating to get the hand on that one?
Well, we talked about Richard Hubbard, that his defense is undervalued or underestimated, but certainly he's a solid defender. Nice job blocking that shot, and the fans let him know about it, too.
Absolutely. Graves threw a pump fake, one dribble, then he pulled up for real on the jump shot, and Richard just timed it up perfectly, swatted away. Officials having a little conversation with both teams right now, which you got to like that.
Of course, they're in that stacked inbounds play, which we've seen from the Colonel's side.
Yeah, you get about 9 people all in a 5 square foot radius. Graves will try the three. It's in. Boy, Tristan Graves with the catch and shoot right there from the right wing. It's a 3-point ball game. 23-20, Altavista lead, but the Hawks maybe starting to grab a little momentum again. Michi Mall back, crossover dribble, right wing. Now he'll get it over left wing to Richard Hubbard. Top of the free throw key goes to Darius Johnson. Johnson going to back his man down one step inside that free throw line. Now back over to Richard Hubbard. Hubbard down low. Left block to Demetrius Johnson. He's stuck. He's got to get rid of it. Gets it over to Michi Mall back. Actually over to Hubbard first, then over to Michi on the right wing. Michi just going to back it out. He's closer to the sideline than he is the three-point line.
And Virgil Glass has got about 4 inches on him. Michi can't take that shot over Virgil.
Glass has that long wingspan. He's tall. He can move. A lot of guys are like that for the Hawks. They hand it off to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck driving the lane. Jump stop. Won't go in. Touched a lot of the rim. Rebounded by Taquan Oates. Short throws it in quickly to Bennett. Bennett got to the front of the rim but wouldn't go in. And now whistle comes out. The official was pointing like Gretna wanted a timeout. No, they're going to call a foul. Official didn't make a real clear signal. Foul is on Virgil Glass.
Yeah, and Virgil missed a shot.
Yeah.
Found himself a little bit under the rim. Couldn't get it quite over. They've got to convert on that if they're going to beat Altavista.
Yeah, good chance there. It was really a 2-on-0 fast break for Gretna. Couldn't come away with points. Walker Allen has it right corner. Going to bounce past Darius Johnson, right post. Johnson, triple team now. Puts up a shot, won't go in, but he got his own rebound, and then he actually lost it off of his brother. Demetrius was coming in to try and get the offensive rebound. Darius had his hands on it, and then Demetrius kind of shouldered it away from him.
Yeah, Demetrius immediately patted his chest and said, my bad. So,
well, just trying to make an aggressive play. Just happened that his brother got to it first. 23-20. Colonel lead. Tristan Graves has the basketball for Gretna. He's had a hot hand really in this third quarter. Over to Seth Short. Short guarded tightly by Navy Jones. Back over to Tristan Graves. Graves about 30 feet away from the basket. Now he's driving. Passes it off to Seth Short, three-point line. Short lost the handle. Right side of the paint. Puts up a shot. Goes in off the glass. Seth Short brings the Hawks within one there. Getting the jumper in off the window. It's a 23-22 Colonel lead. 2:42 to play in the quarter. Demetrius Johnson has it. Right side of the paint, driving. Swatted away, but he is fouled. I think they're going to say it's on the floor before the shot went up.
Yeah,
2:38 to play in the quarter.
It might be on Taquan Oates. That's his third, and Gretna's starting to get a little bit of foul trouble, Kyle.
Yeah, 0 team fouls for Altavista this quarter. 4 for the Gretna Hawks, and we mentioned 4 personal fouls on Deion Rosser. Nelson Dews checking into the ball game for his first action.
And now that being said, Gretna's made a little push and closed the gap here with Rosser on the bench, and if you're Gretna, you got to be optimistic about that.
You do.
I mean, you don't have to be.
No. I was agreeing with you. I was thinking about it, though. I guess you do take a positive away from that. Hey, we've cut into this lead without Deion Rosser as one of our big guns. Traveling violation on Nelson Dews. He caught the ball at the three-point line. Just took too many steps before putting it on the ground. Going to go back to the Gretna Hawks. Boy, Hawks with a chance to take the lead here. You got to feel good about that if you're a Gretna Hawks fan, that's for sure. 23-22. And we know we get a lot of Gretna fans that do listen to this game. Sometimes it gets crowded and you can't get in the gym. Hawks lose it there. Wild pass right there. Virgil Glass was trying to bounce it over to, I believe, Von Bennett, but it did not find its target. Demetrius Johnson coming down the lane. Big strides, and he will get fouled. Shot won't go in. Couple Gretna fans looking for the traveling violation. Boy, Demetrius he really took long strides. I don't think he took 2 minutes.
No, I don't either. He changed direction. He stepped long with one. He stepped long with the other. It was 2 steps. I don't think there was a travel foul.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Or a travel violation either.
Either one. Yeah, two fouls on Virgil Glass there. Free throw goes off back iron and no good. So the Colonels finally look chinking their armor from the free throw line.
Yeah, you gotta love the brothers Johnson. Boy, they wear their emotions on their sleeve. Compete, and when they don't meet their own expectations, they get very, very frustrated with themselves.
Yeah, they're perfectionists. They want to see it go their way every time and go their team's way. Both free throws, no good. Gretna loses the basketball. Darius Johnson had it, but then he lost the basketball. And I think they're going to say it's back to the Altavista Colonels. Officials are going to talk it over again now. They're going to say it will. Going to stay with the Altavista Colonels.
I'm a little bit surprised.
Bit of a break there for Altavista. Looked like it went off Darius, and Darius got it inbound quickly, and he gets fouled on the catch. It's on the floor, but it's against the Gretna Hawks. Coach Beard wants a timeout. Let's see if they give it to him. They do. We'll take a timeout with them. It's a 23-22 Colonel lead. 1-point ball game with 2:09 to play in the third quarter. 30-second timeout here on 105.5 KD Country.
The following is brought to you by English Construction Company.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
23-22. What a ball game here from Gretna High School. We expected nothing less. It was tight in the first quarter. Colonels led at halftime. They still lead right now, Oscar, but boy, doesn't get any closer than a 1-point lead.
No, unless it's tied, it doesn't. It's
that's borderline philosophical by you. Go ahead,
Yogi Berra. We talked about the first meeting, and it was 65-32, and since that time, Gretna's really improved. They ran off a 3 or 4 game win streak, and boy, it's obvious that they're competing tonight.
They really are. This is a much, much better Gretna ball club. We saw more of this last season in the 4 games that Altavista had to lock horns against the Hawks. First game this year, Gretna loses that contest by 30 to Altavista, but again, Colonels pulled away late in that one. Colonels would love to do the same thing here, but I got a feeling they got their hands full. First free throw goes in by Darius Johnson, 24-22. Second one on the way. This one does go in as well.
Well, and if you're Gretna, again, you got to be optimistic. 2:06 here remaining. You're only trailing by 3. You had a 7-point deficit at halftime, and you've had Deion Rosser on the bench for most of the third quarter.
Yeah, you make a great point. I think the first time you made it, that was so philosophical that it baffled me. But, yeah, you got to feel good if you're a Hawks fan about where you're at, specifically without having the services of Deion Rosser for most of the game. Colonels basketball, Hawks basketball, and in a big way. Virgil Glass sinks the 3. 25-24 now is the Colonel lead. I couldn't even see Virgil Glass down there in the corner. I thought Altavista got the basketball back. They do have the basketball back, but not before Glass makes a 3.
And that's Glass's 6th point of the quarter.
He's playing solid basketball. Navy Jones has it right wing. Going to throw it in the low post to Darius Johnson. Johnson, couple dribbles, spin move, puts it up. Back iron, no good. Rebound comes down to Virgil Glass. Glass going the other way for the Hawks. Puts his shoulder down, charges ahead. Foul on the Altavista Colonels. Darius Johnson never could get his feet planted to take a charge, and boy, Virgil Glass was going in a big hurry right there.
Yes, he was, and he was not going to be denied. He was going to the basket, got to the rim, shot didn't fall, but he'll go to the line and shoot 2. Colonels should the Hawks can take the lead here.
Hawks haven't been in the free throw line much in this game. Just Altavista's first team foul this half, Oscar. The high arcing free throw will not go in from Virgil Glass. Walker Allen back in the basketball game for the Altavista Colonels along with Richard Hubbard. They joined Michi Malbeck and the brothers Johnson, Darius and Demetrius. Virgil Glass at the free throw line for the Hawks. Second one on the way for him. This could tie. Puts it up. It goes in. Nothing but net. We are tied 25-25. 1:15 to play in the Apple Market third quarter. You're getting your money's worth if you're a fan, and if you're listening on the radio, you're getting your money's worth there too.
And it's nights like this that you wish the Dogwood District was still in effect.
Absolutely. Maulback, low pass to Darius Johnson. Johnson, turnaround Jay, goes in from about 6 feet. Great penetration by Michi Maulback, great dish, and then a nice finish to give Altavista a 2-point lead by Darius Johnson, 27-25. I definitely echo your sentiments about the Dogwood District still being in existence. Backdoor cut by Glass. Short could not find him. Right idea. Pass is just a little bit off the mark.
And a little bit of a mismatch then. Glass was guarded by Michi Maulbeck. Nice job by him cutting. The pass was just a little bit out of his reach.
27-25. Colonels, I'm sure, would like to hold for one in this situation. We got 37 seconds to go in the quarter. Little head fake by Richard Hubbard. Now chest pass over to Michi Maulback. Right wing, 25 feet away from the basket. Over left wing to Hubbard. Hubbard, 3-ball. Count it right there. That's a big one on a lot of levels, Oscar. Richard Hubbard had not made a lot of threes lately. Made a couple in that Brookfield game. Big shot right there, and it gives Altavista a 5-point lead.
And it's the old Richard Hubbard that we saw. No hesitation. Confident stroke. Knocked it down.
Three-pointer on the way from Virgil Glass. Little long, rebounded by Von Bennett. Hawks have 8 seconds. Bennett got stuck. He lost the basketball. Oak's going to get it back. Down to 4 seconds. Graves will put it up for 3. No good on the air ball, but it's rebounded by Glass. No good there. Colonels make a nice stand to end the quarter, and we're headed to the last stanza of regulation. It's a 30-25 Altavista lead. One more quarter to play here from Gretna on 105.5 KD Country.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
30-25, the Altavista Colonels have a lead here headed into the fourth quarter of play. I'm Kyle Hoehne with Oscar Briggs and Agent Zero. One of the most fun quarters we've seen in a while. Great back-and-forth basketball there.
Yeah, it really was. And Gretna seized the momentum early, but the last 2 minutes, Altavista was able to storm back and, really get the momentum back. Quick from that quarter, Demetrius Johnson with 2, Darius Johnson with 4, Hubbard with a 3, Walker Allen with a 3, 12 points for the Colonels. For Gretna, Tristan Graves with 5, Seth Short with 2, and Virgil Glass with 7. 14 points for the Gretna Hawks.
Man, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to highlight those three-pointers for just a little bit, Oscar, because Richard Hubbard hit a huge one there at the end of the quarter for the Colonels. Tristan Graves hit a big one earlier in the quarter for the Hawks, and then Virgil Glass hit a big one. That three-pointer is just 3 points, but, man, it really adds some momentum. Hawks basketball to start the quarter, no, taken away. Great defensive play by Darius Johnson to step in front of a pass. Here comes Altavista the other way. 7:45 to go in regulation. It's a 5-point Colonel lead. Demetrius throws it middle of the lane to brother Darius. Oh, wow. Darius might have got away with a foul there, and this ball is still loose. Demetrius going to come away with it. Hubbard lost it. He was able to keep it in bounds. He's about an inch away from the sideline right there. Darius Johnson catches on the baseline. Spin move from the right post. Gets it in. Wow. Fantastic individual play right there by Darius Johnson.
And nice hustle by Richard Hubbard to keep that ball without the rest of possession.
32-25. Colonels lead. 7:10 to play. Gretna basketball. Rosser's back in the game. Drives, little short dish off Taekwon Oak. Over to Virgil Glass. Glass left wing to Tristan Graves. Shot will not go up because there was a foul on the floor. And the foul is on Walker Allen. His second and a half for the Altavista Colonels. 16 fouls for Gretna, so Altavista's in the bonus next time the Hawks commit a foul. Rosser looking for somebody to get it in bounds. Short pass. And Coach Beard called a timeout. He was fearing the 5-second violation. We'll take a 30-second timeout with him. Colonels have stretched out the lead a little bit. They are up 32-25. 7 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away, with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical, any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from Gretna High School, Oscar. The Hawks are not out of this by any stretch of the imagination, but, Altavista's done a good job of pulling away in the fourth quarter, not just this year, but in recent years. And I think if you're Gretna, you got to be careful of that again. Virgil Glass, chest pass over to Tristan Graves. Graves going to bring it middle of the court. Now he's driving. Take the pass, went up for the shot. He's fouled by Richard Hubbard. Graves is headed to the free throw line for the Hawks.
Well, in any time in a situation where you're down by 6, 7 points, Gretna's down by 7 now, where if you can get to the free throw line, score without the clock running, it's to your benefit.
Absolutely. These free throw opportunities are big for the Gretna Hawks. And, I look at that 7, 8, 9 point range. It's really a pivotal time for a basketball team because, if the other team goes on a 5-point run, then you're down by 13 or 14, you're pretty much out of it. If you go on a 5-point run, it's basically a tie ball game or a one-possession game. So a lot can happen here in these next few minutes. Both free throws no good from Graves. Colonels still with the 32-25 lead. They rebound the missed shot. Hubbard will walk it ahead, just now breaking the half-court stripe. Over left wing to Michi Malbeck, standing in front of his own bench. He'll bring it out more towards the middle of the court, backing up towards half-court now. Headed to the basket, little crossover behind the back dribble. He'll back it out again. He's guarded by Virgil Glass. Taking his time. No 5-second count yet because Glass not tight enough. Every time he gets tight enough, Michi is able to break the 5-second count.
Michi doing a nice job, a little crossover, but Glass is just so long. Michi can't get by him.
Yeah, Michi, I think, wants to go to the basket. Glass won't allow that, so Michi just kind of has to fake it and then head back out. Walker Allen, right wing, chest pass over to Richard Hubbard. Hubbard driving, kick out over to Darius Johnson, left wing. Darius, little crossover dribble. He's guarded tightly by Von Bennett. Colonel basketball, hand off to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck had it stripped away, but they're going to call a foul on Von Bennett. This is going to send Michi to the free throw line for a 1-and-1.
And it's one of those situations where even if they're wanting contact in high school basketball, when you reach around and get that, they're going to call that foul. Again, whether there's any contact or not, the perception is that there is contact. You're going to get that call.
That's a great point by you, Oscar. It's kind of like the phantom tag in baseball. If the ball beats you 9 times out of 10, particularly in high school, they're going to call the guy out. Same thing right there. If you pick a guy's pocket from behind, they're usually going to call the foul. Doesn't really matter. Michi Malbeck missed the first free throw. Lob pass by Rosser. Gets it to Taquan Oakes. Nice job on the little modified fast break. 32-27. Hawks cut into the lead a little bit. Michi just now breaks the timeline using a screen from Demetrius Johnson. Layup opportunity by Michi Malbeck. Cashed in. He had some guys contending it, but a nice job by Michi Malbeck to convert the points. Here comes Glass. Big hurry. Kick out to Deion Rosser. Rosser, jump shot. Back iron. No good. Rebound still loose. Still loose. Finally grabbed by Demetrius Johnson. It was touched by 3 or 4 hands. Here comes Demetrius Johnson. One-man fast break. Puts up the runner. Won't go in. Michi will grab the rebound. Nice second effort here by the Colonels. Michi driving, left-hand layup. Wow, what a play. What a play, and that prompts another timeout from Coach Beard. Colonels have a 9-point lead. Let's take a 30-second timeout with them. It's 36-27, 5 minutes to play here from Gretna High School on 105.5 KD Country.
High school athletics builds character, teaches teamwork, and provides a solid foundation for life. PCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this sports broadcast for your enjoyment. PCM Industrial Services encourages everyone to come on out and watch the game. It's a great time for the whole family. Cheer on the Colonels. PCM Industrial Services, the industrial maintenance and construction specialists, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality craftsmen since 1986. Good luck, Colonels.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
36-27, the Altavista Colonels lead. Oscar, we've used football analogies, baseball analogies. Let's use a boxing analogy one time here. It's like when both these two teams throw 6 or 7 punches, they each get their shots in, but the Colonels are doing more damage here. They're getting the better of these wild exchanges out there.
Well, you're exactly right, and it is a little bit of a scramble situation, and the Colonels are coming up with the loose balls. 2 very, very good plays by Michi Malbeck. We talked about him being guarded by Glass and him not be able to get by him. The first drive that he made, he was able to pick up a little bit of a pick from Walker Allen. That time he was able to just kind of go around, come from the baseline, make a sweep. And, boy, that left hand was sweet.
Wow, yeah, it was a great move to get him there, and then the finish with the left hand was even better. Great soft touch by Michi Malbeck, using both hands tonight. 5:05 to play, to be exact. 36-27 Colonel lead. Gretna basketball. Graves has it. Middle of the court, turns his back to the basket momentarily. Now chest pass over to Deion Rosser, left wing. Rosser's got the ball stuck over his head, looking to go inside. Now he used the dribble. Lost the dribble momentarily. Kick out to Von Bennett. Shot won't go in. Rebounded by Darius Johnson.
And great that Gretna's had some good looks here in the fourth quarter. The ball just hadn't gone down for them. They've been close.
They really, really have had some good shots. Michi driving in, fakes the pass. He's cut off about 10 feet away from the basket. Now wrapped up. Think they're going to call a jump ball. They call 3 seconds on Michi Malbeck. That's a rare call, you know. By the letter of the law, as far as the basketball goes, you can call 3 seconds on the guy with the basketball. But I'm going to tell you, that's rare that you see that.
Well, and he penetrated and pulled. 3 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, by the letter of the law, I guess it's the right call. But once again, it's extremely, extremely rare that you get it called on the player with the basketball. But that's what happened there. It's Hawks basketball after the turnover. They trail by 9. Graves has it, right point, about 5 feet away from half court. Now he passes it to Rosser. Rosser pull up from 16 feet, won't go in. Rebound comes down to Demetrius Johnson. Another good look by the Hawks, and it goes in and out. It's not like they're airballing these shots either, Oscar, which speaks to your point about the Gretna really kind of getting burned by some bad luck. Darius Johnson has it, acting as a de facto point guard. He's going to dribble, spin move, passes to Michi Malbeck. Malbeck now going to facilitate things, going to back it out a little bit. Still guarded by Virgil Glass. That's been a fun battle to watch all night. 3:47 to play. Colonels lead by 9. Michi driving, tried the left hand again. This time it was partially blocked. Rebound comes down to Glass. Glass coming down in a hurry. Head up, bounce pass over to Rosser. Back to Oaks. Oaks scores the bucket there. Taekwon Oaks, good job running the trailer in the secondary fast break. Nice look by Rosser to find him, too. It's a 36-29 Colonel lead now. Altavista basketball. Demetrius Johnson. Got Darius posting up down low. Demetrius threw it away. He was in trouble. It got picked off by Taekwon Oaks. They get it ahead to Rosser. Rosser from the left-hand block. Score the basket now. Mike Cardellaro wants a timeout as the Hawks are building some momentum. We'll take it with them. 36-31. 30-second timeout with 3:11 to play here in the fourth quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
This month's specials from your Apple Market convenience stores. Coke 6-pack cans, $1.29 and 24 cans for $6.99. Extra large Lay's chips selling for $3.49. Chicken Parmesan sandwiches and subs special price reduction for January. 8 pieces delicious fried chicken now $7.99 from 4 to 8 p.m. only at Apple Market locations Riverside, Gateway, and Main Street, Altavista. You know what they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
36-31. The Colonels have a lead on the road here at Gretna. It's been an old-school Gretna Altavista game, Oscar. Not necessarily the prettiest basketball to watch, although we've seen some pretty stuff. It's kind of sloppy, but I'm telling you, that makes it a lot of fun, doesn't it?
And you know, I don't know that it's been sloppy as the defense has been so strong.
True. Good point.
And again, the only way I can describe it is as we did it earlier, it's got the old Dogwood District feel to it. This is a Dogwood District slugout.
It's a Dogwood District dog fight. That's what our old friend Delano Douglas used to call it. Coach Douglas might be listening somewhere right now. He would love this kind of basketball game, I think. I mean, it's just it's a battle all the way around. You made a great point about the defenses. The defenses make it kind of look sloppy. I think that was an excellent observation by you. Just really, really solid defense. The low score indicates that as well. 36-31. Michi Malbeck got to get it into the front court. Gretna was throwing in some full court pressure. They kind of bail Michi out just a little bit with a little hand check foul. Michi's going to head to the free throw line and shoot a 1-and-1. This one is on.
Yeah, and with 3:05 remaining, Colonel's up by 5. That's the 8th team foul on Gretna. Colonels with only 3, so the Colonels can use that to their benefit and keep if they keep Gretna off the line, use some fouls.
Yeah, down the stretch, inside 3 minutes, you can kind of use some fouls sometimes, commit the old intentional, unintentional foul. First free throw goes down for number 1, Michi Malbeck. 37-31 is your Altavista Colonel lead. Hey, Oscar, that foul was on Von Bennett, too. His 4. So 2 guys out there on the court right now for the Hawks have 4 fouls, Bennett and Rosser. Second one goes in for Michi Malbeck. Michi's been real good there this year. He's about 85% from the free throw line. Rosser driving, dishes it off to Bennett. Nice play right there. Rosser making the extra pass to find Bennett. 38-33. Michi kicks it ahead quickly. It's tipped away. Ends up in the hands of Tristan Graves and the Gretna Hawks. Graves will race it ahead across the timeline. 2:46 to play. Ooh, Rosser might have got away with an extra step. Spin move. Will put up a jumper off the window. Boy, great play right there by Deion Rosser. I don't know whether he walked or not. It was an excellent little 11-foot jump shot off the window and in. Malbeck double team. Got to get rid of it. Does the Hubbard. Hubbard will break the timeline into the front court. Darius driving. Blocked. Got his own rebound. Now it's taken away by Oaks. And they'll call a foul or a jump ball. Let's see.
They're going to call a jump ball. It looked like alternating possession comes to the Colonels. Mike Carolero exploded off the bench. Very, very unhappy with that they're wanting to call a foul on that call by Johnson going to the hoop.
Yep. We've said it before. Let's say it again. It's old school Gretna Altavista. There's some contact out there that's not going to get called, but it's just that kind of a game. I think the officials have done a nice job about being consistent. Malbeck went for the layup and lost it. It got tipped away. I thought it got tipped away. I mean, his shot ended up going over the backboard.
Interesting call by the officials. The official at half court called it the one. Great steal by Michi Malbeck.
Michi just stepped in front of the basket.
Deion Rosser picks up his 5th foul, Kyle.
Michi fell down, slipped, and they're going to call a 5th foul on Deion Rosser. His night is done early. It comes at 2:13 to play in the game. 38-25. It's a 3-point Altavista Colonel lead. Hawks fans can't believe it. And on this one, Oscar, I've got to say I have to agree with him. It didn't look like Rosser got much of Michi Malbeck there, but
huge turn of events right there in about 5 seconds. Michi went up. We looked like the ball got knocked off of Gretna. Lo and behold, Michi makes the steal on the inbounds play. Oh, that's huge, too.
Yeah, the referee, Michi put up his free throw attempt, and the referee blew the whistle right before Michi shot it. And it's huge, Oscar says, because Michi missed the free throw. Rosser was still on the court. Coach Cardallero saying, you got to sub somebody else in there. It's a 1-and-1. I think it's a 1-and-1. One referee saying holding up 2 fingers.
Now the official's saying it's interesting.
He was not in the act of shooting. Now the officials might have made a mistake and thought that he was. Free throw did not go in by Michi Malbeck, and we know it sounds a little crazy at home. Trust me, it's a little crazy here, too. It's a 38-35.
The whistle blew during the act of Michi shooting the free throw, though.
Yeah. And now the officials are saying, no, it's a 1-and-1. Officials are talking about it. Coach Beard is with 2 officials. Mike Carlero is with the 3rd official. It's 2:13 to play in the basketball game. Let's tell you what we know. It's a 38-35 Colonel lead. Michi Malbeck is on the free throw line. He's either going to have 1 or 2 free throw attempts at it. Looks like they've held up the 1-and-1 signal.
And boy, the crowds are really, really into it now.
Crowds are kind of jawing back and forth at each other. Colonel fans are doing the Let's Go Colonel chant. Hawks fans are doing the reverse. This is fun to watch right here.
This has been one of the more fun ball games for me all year.
Absolutely. I think Coach Cardallero is going to say in the next Subway pregame show that it gives him too many gray hairs, and Coach Beard might agree on the other side for the Hawks. Here comes Michi Malbeck. It's a 1-and-1. The official has made that signal pretty clear now. So he will have a second chance. Michi, big deep breath. Puts up the free throw and in. Great job by Malbeck to cash in on the extra opportunity. Whether it was right or wrong, he does make good on the extra chance.
Colonels with 9 points in this quarter. Michi Malbeck with 7.
Wow. Michi Malbeck quarter here in the Apple Market fourth quarter so far. It's a 39-35 Colonel lead. Just 2:13 to play in regulation. Second one on the way for Michi. Count that one as well. Excellent job right there to stretch it out to a 5-point lead again. Glass going to bring it up. Guarded tightly by Malbeck. Breaks that pressure over to Von Bennett in the corner. Throws it down low to Glass. Glass lost it momentarily. Puts up the shot. Counts the bucket and he's fouled. This team has got a little bit of everything, and the momentum just keeps swinging back and forth. Virgil Glass, great shot. He's fouled by, I believe, Darius Johnson.
And the Colonels had 3 fouls to give at that point. You can't foul and give them the opportunity for the 3-point play.
Yeah. Good point. 3rd foul on Darius Johnson. And it's going to be 1 shot for Virgil Glass. Got a chance to convert the old-fashioned three-point play and make it a two-point game if he can sink the free throw. It's on the way. Back iron, no good, too strong. Rebounded by Michi Malbeck. What a play by Michi to sky up and take that one away from Von Bennett. It really has been the Michi Malbeck fourth quarter so far. Offensive foul on Demetrius Johnson. They got him for an illegal screen out there. He was about 35 feet away from the basket. Looked to be a good call, Oscar.
It was the right call. He had him on the original screen. He had him picked, but as the player tried to go around him, he pivoted and hooked him. So it was absolutely the right call. Yep. Colonel's up by 3 with 1:50 remaining. Gretna with the ball.
Gretna could tie with a three-pointer here. 40-37, Colonel lead. Glass driving to the basket. Dumps it off to Oakes. Oakes' left-hand layup won't go in. Highly contested there. Oakes grabbed his own rebound but was tied up by Walker Allen. Good job by Allen to get in there and mix it up. It's a jump ball situation. Possession arrow shows Gretna, so they'll inbound underneath their own scoring basket. Tristan Graves will do the honors for the home team, Gretna Hawks. 40-37, 1:42 to play. It's an Altavista Colonel three-point lead. Hawks bounce past the Short. Great inbound play. Short couldn't convert the layup. Rebounded by Richard Hubbard. Hubbard is tied up, and they will call a foul right there. Excellent inbound play designed there by Gretna, but Short just could not cash in.
He had the bunny, and he short-armed it, Kyle.
Yeah.
I mean, he was wide open. Great play designed by Coach Beard. Off the cut, Short was wide open and just couldn't finish the play.
Tough luck there for Seth Short. Let's attribute that one to the pressure of the game and the defense, that kind of thing. Richard Hubbard's on the free throw line shooting 2. Gretna has committed 10 team fouls. The double bonus situation for Altavista. 2 shots all the way out. Hubbard, the lefty, sinks the first one. 41-37. Altavista Colonels have stretched it out to a 4-point lead. Hubbard's second one on the way. On the court right now for the Colonels. Both Johnson brothers, Walker Allen, Richard Hubbard, Michi Malbeck. Second one good, nothing but net. Great looking shot there by Richard Hubbard. Davy Jones going to check in the game for Walker Allen now for the Altavista Colonels. 1:39 to play in the fourth quarter, Oscar. It's a 42-37 Altavista lead. Gretna's in that danger zone again. If they can get a bucket, they're right back in it. If they can't score and Altavista does, the Colonels are really looking good to wrap this thing up. Glass, low block, puts up a fadeaway, won't go in. Rebounded by Demetrius Johnson. Johnson going to control it, lost his glasses momentarily. He's able to pitch it over to Michi Malbeck.
And another good look by Gretna, one of those baskets that went down and came back out.
Yep. Foul away from the basket. No, it was on Michi Malbeck. I think it's going to be 5 on Virgil Glass. Oh, wow, that was another hand check right there. About 40 feet away from the basket, right point. I'd say it's just a third on Virgil Glass. Third foul on Virgil Glass. Over 10 team foul for the Hawks. 2 foul shots on the way for Michi Malbeck. He's really been doing a number all quarter. Sinks the first free throw. 43-37.
Michi 5 of 5 coming down the stretch here in the fourth quarter.
Impressive stuff for the junior from Altavista. Michi's second one on the way. Big deep breath before he fires it up. That one's side of the iron, no good. Rebounded by Taquan Oates. Oscar thinks he jinxed it. Michi Malbeck dove for the basketball. Actually ended up bouncing into the referee. Graves has it right wing. 65 seconds to play in this basketball game, in regulation anyway. Hawks got to hurry. Graves thought about an off-balance three, decided better of it. Short, going to throw it down low to Glass. Glass is fouled as he catches it. I think this is on the floor if you ask me, Oscar, but let's wait and see what the official says.
And if it's on the floor, Gretna will have to be forced to take the ball out of bounds.
Yep, they are going to say it's on the floor.
And that's a fifth. Colonels still have 1 to give.
Yeah, it's 3 team fouls on Demetrius Johnson.
Excuse me, that is their 6th foul.
Yep.
So they'll be in the 1-and-1. 55 seconds left. Colonels by 6.
Graves off balance jump shot, no good. Rebound is loose, controlled by Darius Johnson. What a great job by Johnson to sky up. We're under 47 seconds to play. Coach Cardellaro wanted a timeout. Official didn't see him. Malbeck is hammered trying to bring it up the court. This foul will be on Virgil Glass, I believe. And Michi Malbeck headed to the free throw line again. And that is the 4th foul on Virgil Glass. Gretna trailing 43-37. It's a 6-point Colonel lead. Michi Malbeck can stretch the lead out to 7 or 8 points on the free throw line here. 43.1 seconds left exactly in regulation. First one up, first one good for Michi Malbeck. And he's the guy you want the ball in his hands down the stretch when you have a lead, Oscar, because he's the guy you want the other team fouling.
Well, that's right, and he's been cool under pressure tonight.
Yep, I've always said that if you can shoot free throws He'll have a place on the floor in the later game stages. Second free throw won't go in for Michi, so he's made the front end both times in a row. Graves lost it, fell down, got it back. There's a bottle on the court, three-pointer on the way from Gretna. There's a fan on the court now going to retrieve the bottle. Graves fires up an off-bounds three. Got his own rebound, though. Pump fake. That one's blocked by Darius Johnson. Things getting wild and crazy. Gretna got the ball back. Graves threw up another three. Won't go in. Rebounded by Michi Malbeck. Down to 15 seconds. Colonels are going to be able to run this one out. Glass is going to foul Michi Malbeck, maybe just purely for the exercise of it all. 44-37. Colonels lead. Malbeck on the free throw stripe again. 14.4 seconds left. Wild exchange where Gretna had at least 3 shots out of the Oscar. It was more like 4 or 5, I think. Gretna threw up some wild off-balance shots, but really with time winding down, they didn't have much of a choice.
Well, they had to. And boy, 44-37, 14 seconds there. Obviously, the Colonels are going to pull this off, and what a great effort by the Gretna Hawks tonight. Getting blown out at Altavista, but they have fought back. They played extremely well tonight. Game effort. You look at the time that Rosser had to be on the bench, Glass had to be on the bench. Boy, what a great game by Gretna tonight.
Yeah.
And gutty performance by the Colonels.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about those issues and more in the Subway postgame show, but you're right. Got to take your cap off to Gretna. Got to take your cap off to Altavista for really weathering the storm, hanging in there and getting the win. Let's wait till it's all said and done, though. Michi Malbeck does knock down the first free throw. It's 45-37.
7 for 9 for Michi here in the fourth quarter.
Excellent stuff from Michi. See if he can convert both of them this time. He's made just the front end his last couple trips. Sinks that one there, does make both. 9-point Colonel lead. Just 14.4 seconds left. Graves will pick it up off the roll. Gets it about half court. Hands it over to Seth Short. Short, right-hand dribble, now driving to the basket, middle lane, puts up a layup. It'll go in. 2 more points for the Hawks. We're down to 5 seconds. Altavista doesn't even have to inbound it. Time will run out here from Gretna. Colonels with a very, very solid win on the road here against their rival, the Hawks. 46-39, Altavista wins. Subway postgame show on the way when you come back on 105.5 KD Country.
Some people have never tried food at a Mexican restaurant. So we asked Chad Shelton from Shelton's Plumbing and Heating about his experience.
I wasn't so sure what the green stuff was, but they slipped some on my plate one day, and now I won't have a meal without guacamole. Still can't spell it.
At El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, if you have questions, they give you the answers in English. Mexican and American foods, affordable prices, and fast service. Try it today, El Cazador, Main Street, Altavista.
A short drive will save you money.
Buying a car at Feller Chevrolet has never been a hassle, but during our no-hassle sale, it's even easier. All new and used vehicles are priced and marked with rock-bottom prices on the lot and on the web. To make car shopping as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Come to Feller Chevrolet in Altavista or go to fellersdirect.com. 2. Pick the vehicle that fits your budget. 3. Drive it home today. No pressure, no hassle.
A short drive will save you money. Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
English is so much more.
English is
More than a hardware store.
English
is your complete home center. Everything for every job you do. Always here for you.
Get the quality you really need. That's English is
So much more.
English is
More than a hardware store.
English
is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista, open Saturday 8 to 4.
Gretna High School was the site of one fantastic basketball game. Colonels pull off the big victory over their rival, the Gretna Hawks. Thank you for joining us on 105.5 KD Country or at kdcountry.com. And Oscar, I think Coach Carlero's wife, Lee, just kind of epitomized it. You know, she did the old move where you take the back of your hand and you wipe the sweat off your brow and you breathe a big sigh of relief. It was one of those kind of nights for Colonel fans, back and forth stuff. And again, you've got to take your hat off really to both teams. Coach Beard had a much better, I don't want to say better game plan, but much better effort probably from his guys. I think his game plan the first time around was sound. But this was a fun one here tonight. Fun one to watch.
Yeah, it was a fun game, and you know we talked about it a couple of times that this was a good old-fashioned dogwood dogfight. Boy, Gretna took a 6-4 lead out of the first quarter. Gretna Altavista stormed back. 14-5 outscored Gretna in the second quarter. The score was at the half was 18-11. Colonels up by 7. Gretna actually outscored Colonels in the third quarter by 2. Altavista flipped that, outscored them 16-14 in the fourth. Altavista and Gretna played even in the second half, with the 7-point cushion that Alta built at halftime led to the 46-39 win.
Yeah, that third quarter particularly was full of excitement all the way around. I mentioned the big three-pointers. Tristan Graves hit one. Virgil Glass hit one. Richard Hubbard hit one to really end the third quarter for Altavista. And maybe that was the momentum that they needed going into the fourth quarter. Michi Malbeck really taking over there in the fourth quarter, huh?
He really did take over in the fourth quarter. And one of the things that stands out, the shot by Seth Short at the end of the game gave them 14 points in the quarter. Michi scored 12 in the quarter by himself.
Wow.
So when you look down at scoring for Gretna for the game, Javon Bennett with 2, which is a little bit of a shock. He's usually more of an offensive presence than that. Deion Rosser with 4, who spent a big part of the fourth quarter on the bench. Taquan Oates with 4. No, let me do this wrong. I'm in the fourth quarter. Let me redo this.
Oscar's going to give you the game stats.
Yeah, Javon Bennett with 5. Rosser with 6. Tristan Graves with 5. Taquan Oates with 8. Santonio Witcher with 2. Virgil Glass with 9 for their 39. And for Altavista, more balanced scoring again from them. Led by Michi Malbeck with 17.
Wow.
Navy Jones with 2. Demetrius with 7. Darius with 12. Richard Hubbard with 5. And Walker Allen with 3. So 46 points for the Colonels on that. Colonels win 46-39.
Man, I'm just going to touch. We'll get to player of the games here in a moment, and obviously you're got free reign to pick whoever you want. But let me just touch on Michi Malbeck again. Cool, calm, and collected down the stretch there, without a doubt. And, I'll tell you, Michi looked like he was a little frustrated early in the game, in first, second quarter. Maybe things didn't go his way. He had some of those turnovers, but, man, did he ever bounce back in a big way. And that's Michi's game. He's a little bit up and down sometimes, but I'll tell you what, when the chips are down and you need a big play, you can always count on him.
And that's the maturation that we've seen out of Michi between the tail end of last year, where we started to see him turn into that. Historically, Michi, if he gets in that down situation early in the game, it's hard for him to fight back. But, boy, he continues to show that he's maturing. Dominant performance by him in the fourth quarter on both ends of the game, on both ends of the court.
Yeah, we talk about he's a lockdown defender offensively. He's got all the right stuff. He can dribble, penetrate, he can pass, he can score those layups with the left hand or the right hand, as we've seen tonight. Great jump shot as well, and he's a real weapon from the free throw line too. So, wow, since we did all that, maybe we should get into player of the game time. It might be easy for them. I'll go first for the Gretna Hawks, though. I think it's a little bit tougher there. Got a lot of different ways you can go, although you may agree with me here. Got to go big Virgil Glass. I mean, it's fun watching him and Michi battle all game. Hit the big 3 in the third quarter that got the Hawks, I think, within 1 at the time, and just a solid basketball player.
I'm going to go a little bit of a different route. Taquan Oates, I thought, was big in the first half, kept him in the game. Had 8 points for the Hawks tonight. So for me, it's Taquan Oates.
Great pick there for the Altavista Colonels, the road team here. They do get to win 46-39, low-scoring game, as we mentioned a few times. There's some different ways you can go. I mean, Michi led the guys in scoring, and no doubt his points were big down the stretch. But, man, I'm thinking of a guy right now, Oscar, and you're probably thinking of him too. I got to throw Richard Hubbard's name out there as my player of the game pick. He hit the big 3 at the end of the third quarter. Richard's been struggling a little bit from the field so far this year. That was a big 3 to knock down. Had that big block at one point, too. Richard, underrated as always, but you couldn't go wrong with Michi Malbeck.
No, solid 4 game from Richard tonight as well. I don't think he had but 1 turnover. If you're going with Richard, I'm going to go with Michi. Just the dominant fourth quarter that he had, the floor game, the defensive end, a big play that I thought really kind of turned it here in the fourth quarter was when he drove to the hoop. He drove to the hoop. The ball was knocked out of bounds, and lo and behold, Gretna threw the ball in. Michi made a great steal, got to the hoop. I thought that was huge.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to go.
And 8 out of 10 from the free throw line.
Exactly. I mentioned Michi about 85% from the free throw line this year, so that's, again, a real weapon to have. And I mentioned it how great a game he had. One of us had to pick him, so I feel good about that. I feel good about the Colonel's schedule. The big one, well, they're all big, but maybe a little bit bigger one from a fan's perspective anyway, is Friday. That's senior night at home against the Chatham Cavaliers, and it's also honoring the 2004 state championship team. Going to have most of those players and coaches and a lot of the people associated with that ball club back in the building. They're going to honor them. That's going to be a fun night. Definitely, if you can get there in person, that'll be a great one to check out. I'm sure the light show is going to be extra special for that one. And it's a good Chatham squad as well that Altavista had a nice game with the first time around, so that'll be fun. Saturday is in Salem for the Roy Stanley Memorial Classic. Tip-off for that one at 3 o'clock. And then 3 games next week as well, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. And the thing we got to get to is, again, tell you it's a Subway post-game show. Subway, eat fresh. A lot of great stuff going on in February. Stop in either the Main Street or the Walmart location in Altavista. And we couldn't do it without Lee Cameron, our producer. We also couldn't do it without our sponsors, the First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. Apple Markets, serving you from 3 Altavista area locations. Tyree Little Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, comfortable in between. English Construction Company, wishing our high school athletes an exciting injury-free game. Feller Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, the happiest place in town. English's, your complete home center, and headquarters for Davis Paint. Select Air, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, never an overtime charge. Call Donnie today. PCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialist since 1986. And Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Services, a family serving families since 1905. And that'll wrap it up for us from Gretna High School. Colonels get the big victory, 46-39. You listen to it at kdcountry.com or 105.5. You heard a great one. We'll talk to you Friday night when the Chatham Cavaliers are in town for senior night. Special 04 recognition for the state championship team from 2004 as well. We'll talk to you then, everybody.
This basketball game is brought to you by the KD Country Sports Club.
Aubrey Rosser Law Firm in Altavista, first choice for any and all legal advice.
Steve Farmer Auto Sales, where there's always a good selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs priced right. Steve Farmer Auto Sales, 1112 Main Street.
Sharky's Pest Control in Hurt. Let Tony take a bite out of your pest control needs. Doing business the old-fashioned way to keep you coming back.
Main Street Trading Company Consignment, now open Wednesday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturdays, 9 to 4.
El Cerrito in Altavista. Throw on a sombrero and shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time.